Welcome to DBL. It's good to see you too.
Hey.
I thought you were about to say it's Friday.
It's not.
Friday energy.
I did.
Okay.
Friday energy, but it's not. Good to know. And you are working out with Colin, huh?
I am. We started a workout plan, so I'm trying to get it together.
That's good. How you feeling?
A little crazy.
Yeah, you look like you don't even want to move your arms, so respect. Yeah, it's like,
I'm in a little bit of
stay
pain.
still and nothing sore.
She's all, I'm fine. All right.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. All right. For the first time, we are actually getting to see the immediate aftermath of the fatal shooting on the Rust movie set. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office released video evidence showing deputies and paramedics responding to the scene after the cinematographer and director were both shot. Now, Helena Hutchins later died from her injuries. We're also seeing police ask Alec Baldwin about the shooting shortly afterward. So take a look at this footage.
Are you doing okay?
No, I'm not, actually. I was the one holding the gun, yeah. Okay. I'm happy to stay right here and do everything you need. Hands are shaking.
Okay, other footage released also shows rehearsal scenes from the movie, including Alec drawing the gun that was used in the shooting. Here's some of what Alec told police when he was questioned.
They take the gun, they empty the gun, and all the rounds that are in there were either dummy rounds, no flash, cold rounds, or rounds with a flash. In the rehearsal, there should have been nothing. It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds, cosmetic rounds, no flash. I take the gun out slowly, I cock the pistol, bang, it goes up, she hits the ground. She goes down. He goes down, screaming.
The Santa Fe County Sheriff told the Today Show that Alec is still, quote, not off the hook and that it's still too early to rule anything out now. I just want to make it very clear, this investigation isn't over. They still have fingerprint analysis, ballistic analysis. His phone is still being checked. So this came out in the middle of all this. What did you think when you guys first saw it? It's not easy footage to see, is it?
I know you see like the more in detail, and then you're looking at this and wondering how this all is getting released to the public real time. But we understand a lot of times journalists might ask for some of this kind of stuff so that we can find out more about the story. But Alec Baldwin's life is playing out in front of all of us, watching whether or not he's still going to be criminally charged. Because we were talking about the civil cases in the past weeks about how they're going to be filed against him, and understand that he might owe people a ton of money if he loses those. But now we're seeing that he still could be criminally charged, and it's it's a reality check, and because a lot of the complaints were that they were not following the guidelines necessary to protect people on a set, and people are not explaining how there were live rounds on a set in the first place. So there's a lot of questions that have to be answered, and somebody has to take the fault for it, whether it's criminally or not. Someone has to say this is exactly what happened, and then the police can do their job and determine whether or not this was an accident.
Yeah, and just so you know, the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez, Al, is suing the ammunition supplier, saying that somehow they brought live ammunition that she thought were dummy rounds. So no one has told us how live rounds, no one's fessed up to the live rounds. We don't know how it got there. What did you think about seeing this footage?
Yeah, of course we don't know how it got there, because you're not an armorer and you're not an armorer and I'm not an armorer. But I would think whoever touched that gun, whose only job, the only reason you're on that set, Lindsay, is to handle the weaponry and make sure that there's cold rounds or dummy rounds, I don't even know, whatever, non-bullets.
Yeah.
And whoever loaded that gun has some questions in that, either is there such similarity between a dummy round and a real bullet that even somebody whose job it is could not tell? If that's an issue, then okay, tell the public that, since we're releasing all the footage. But until we decide what direction we're going to go with this, I think releasing the footage is not, that's somebody's mom on the ground.
I know.
And there's a part of humanity here that we have to ask ourselves, do you need to know every intricate detail, or do we need to have some breath with some of this and let the authorities sort it out? So it's kind of two things we're dealing with. But I would like to have that question asked, how did you not know that that was a live bullet?
Yeah, and I also want to know, the Freedom of Information Act was used, just like you said, like journalists wanted to know. They asked New Mexico Santa Fe sheriff. The sheriff agreed to let it out. I'm not sure how this would affect a jury pool. Right? Like, we haven't gotten to the civil or criminal case yet. And now, as a potential Santa Fe citizen, I'm viewing footage that I feel like should be saved for the court case. So to me, this poisons the jury pool in a really strong way. And I'm not sure what the reasoning behind it for the Santa Fe sheriff was.
Well, I think if you keep talking about something and speculating, video helps tell the story, just like we saw last year with all the different murders of young black boys and women. You know, we had the video and the public was calling for it, but then there's a certain line that you don't cross of continuously playing it. And even us as a show, we're like, okay, we saw it, we get it. People who watch and consume this want to understand what happened. You got the visual, but we don't need to keep seeing somebody on the ground in this case or hurt, because we get the story. And I think then from that point on, mixed with all the facts and the evidence, then the jury can take that information and do what they want with it.
Yeah, and just so you know, we're not showing even some of the more graphic footage that we have. So, yeah, not easy for the Hutchins family.
Why do we have that?
Exactly.
Why does anybody have
I know.
that?
I'm like,
I don't, you know.
The lawyers and the jury to me should have that. All right. Well, the sheriff's office also released footage of the film armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed the moments after the shooting. Okay, so this is body cam video. It shows Hannah. She's being questioned by deputies. When asked if she is the film's armorer, she's heard saying, quote, "I am, or at least I was." She was also heard calling herself a, quote, bleeping failure, and said she messed up her entire career. Take a look.
Welcome to the worst day of my life. I can't believe Alec Baldwin was holding the gun. That's so.
The sheriff's office also released video of an interview with the film's ammunition supplier, who said Hannah had asked for live ammo for a film she was working on prior to Rust. He said he refused her request because live ammo is never allowed on set. To me, it comes down to these two people. Something happened between these two people, the supplier and the armorer.
Right. We're already kind of looking at her like asking for live ammo for what, knowing that what the protocol is. I don't like the overall sentiment that there's not that many women in this field, and she feels like now she's ruining it for herself and so many people behind her, because I think this is an isolated incident that has to do with what went wrong with these individuals. And so I hope there's still space for people to come in and just not be inexperienced, not be amateur, not be willing to not cross all the T's and dot all the I's. Like, it doesn't matter what nationality, sex you are. Really, it just has to do with being a professional.
Though. Because if, I don't know what age she is.
She's young.
Yeah, but if that's a young Lindsay, I feel like you would be the night before triple, quadruple checking. It was strange to me, and this is why I don't really like the video. I'm human as well. I'm looking at that. She's on her phone.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a good look. Alec Baldwin's hands
24,
are shaking.
just so you know.
So if I'm in the jury and I say he's clearly shaken up by something he wasn't expecting, and she's like scrolling like I was. Yeah, can you believe Alec Baldwin's?
That's also the thing. Like a lot of the accusations say that Alec Baldwin's team was trying to cut corners with costs and pay people low. And so as somebody who runs a production company, I know we can do two things when we're helping out a client. We can hire somebody that's right out of college who probably doesn't know exactly what they're doing, and I might need to tweak their edits some, or we can hire an experienced editor and pay them what their day rate is, which is much more expensive. And so that's when you have that back and forth of deciding, do you want to cut corners here, or do you want to train somebody up who just out of college, or not take the time to do that? And I think that with Alec Baldwin, he made a decision, or his company, production company, and the entire team made a decision. And unfortunately, you're seeing somebody who's looking like to us that they're on their phone and not taking their job as seriously as it needs to be, especially when it has to do with life or death.
On the phone in the back of a police cruiser.
Yeah, how does she have the phone in the first place?
Dead body in the church, and she's like, yeah, worst day of my life.
Yeah, I know.
Like she's got fired from Subway.
And I know what's also weird is, remember, every other cinematographer walked out hours before this due to the lack of safety protocol. She was the only camera person on set, Helena, that stayed, and it's just a fatal decision.
Well, this is what happens when you don't follow the rules, and it sounds super corny, super old man, and when people shoot things without permits, kind of guerrilla style, and it's a hit, everybody's like, oh, see, that's how you do it. You go against the man, against the big. But this is what happens when you don't have professionals in place. You have a young woman whose life is forever altered, a dead body, and an actor whose career is probably derailed, at least. So this is why you follow the rules.
Yeah.
I feel like I aged 50 years saying that.
No, you didn't. I
feel so old.
You know what?
That was definitely something my dad told me.
But I appreciated having a dad on the panel. Coming up on DBL, the fabulous Jennifer Lewis. She's giving us a behind-the-scenes look at her new show. I love that for you. And yes, we're discussing it. Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Will his push for free speech make the platform better?
That's your picture?
Or worse?
That is a weird picture.
So whack.
Yeah, he is a little whack.
Like, not that picture.
I agree.
Your
glasses are cool.
He looks like an avatar of himself.
Closed captioning provided by...
This April, connect with Al, Lindsay, Eric, Erica, Jeff, and Tori. This is gonna be a good one. Real conversations are on DBL.
I tried to contain myself. I wanted to scream it out loud.
DBL, all new every day.
Say, come on, give him a chance. No experience.
Kind of following in the dad's footsteps.
I don't understand how a
she's
cop
not,
allows
though.
her to have a phone in the first place when she wasn't under custodial arrest in that way, but at some point, you probably can't be colluding with someone of what happened that
I
day.
can't tell how someone should act when they're scrambling and under that much pressure, but I know if I'm scrambling, it's just like stuck.
She seemed
Versus
Frozen.
like, I don't think I'd be narrating the experience.
Very, very
to
lackadaisical.
think about turning your camera on,
So maybe keep that in mind. For
yeah, and saying, I can't believe
father, yeah,
Alec
absolutely.
Baldwin was holding the gun. It's like you made a point to like name drop there. Like it's such a weird, like I don't know if maybe that's how the younger generation has their cathartic interactions with themselves, is like by getting it out and talking on camera. But that would be the last thing I would do, is turn my camera on when I might possibly be on trial for.
I'd be calling my attorney first off. And
I
by the
know,
way,
it just
Gabrielle, I
seemed
called you
strange.
Gabrielle. It's Gabriel. You're a boy. A lot of people are making fun of me. I apologize. Me dispiace. Me dispiace.
Well, you have issues with
Je regrette.
Gabriel and Gabrielle.
I
That's
just
a
cannot
thing.
You have an overall issue with it?
I can't get it together.
Do you have a thing like that? Like one.
Like, yeah, I'm calling Rihanna.
Yeah, I have it. I
Deliberately.
Yeah, that's my Rihanna.
It doesn't roll off the
Rihanna.
tongue to
can't
say
do it.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
My friend says Hannah Montana. I can't say it the other way.
I kinda like that.
But I say Gabrielle is a girl, female. Gabriel. Oh.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm surprised that like the armorer, once she asked for live bullets, shouldn't that have been such a red flag that they called somebody like, hey,
That was
who
in
did
the,
you
but it was
hire?
for the previous film.
Still.
I know. But maybe
Like
he didn't
amateur
know.
hour, no. But it also is not another, like, it's not like, let's say I'm working with a different client. It's not their job to correct in-house what's going on at LGP. That's kind of weird, right? Like, that's my job to know, like, why is my armor? Maybe they can let the boss know.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
why
think
is your
anyone knew.
armorer asking for this?
Also, things just went through the cracks, I feel like. Welcome back. The world's richest man just successfully took over Twitter.
No, I didn't.
Chris liked that one. Elon Musk and the board of Twitter agreed to a $44 billion deal yesterday, which means Elon is taking the company private. Elon tweeted yesterday that he wants his worst critics to remain on Twitter. He also tweeted that he wants to make Twitter better than ever. Some people are already leaving the site in protest. There are also reports that some Twitter employees are worried about what this could mean, while others are cautiously optimistic. So please write in during this discussion. A lot of you wrote in to Daily Blast Live about this. Twitter is an enormously important part of the social conversation for the world. And now we have the richest man owning it. How do we feel about that?
But the richest people combined, I was reading an article and I don't want to get it wrong, own most of the social media networks, right? So there's like 1 through 10 all have a hand in everything from Microsoft to Facebook. So like nothing's different. You can go ahead and hop on Facebook or go to Instagram if you don't like Twitter. Everything's an option. And I think that the biggest argument has been that President Trump's going to make his way back onto Twitter, but he has actively said, I have no interest in joining Twitter where you booted me, and I'm actually just going to continue pursuing Truth Social. So what's the other argument about Elon Musk running this that people are so riled up about? Like, people are running, it's like in the other fields of social media, people are running it by like a one-man show anyway. So what is the difference with Twitter and Elon Musk? He just wanted a new play toy, basically, like everyone else has.
Because it's him. Because
But
he
is everyone
so
else
polarizing.
honorable? Because Jack Dorsey wasn't by even selling it to him.
But I don't think Jack Dorsey had the profile that Elon has. Like, I mean, Elon is kind of a quirky guy. He's kind of an enigma. He does weird things. He's very impulsive. He is very successful. And he does represent a lot of what I feel that especially young men are feeling, like this, like, I want to run the world. I want to dominate things. I want free speech. I don't want to be censored. That kind of vibe that we've been dealing with the last couple of years. I think right now, even more than Rogan, he represents that because he has so much capital and so much power, and he's clearly willing to use it. So I am curious to see how this is going to play out. I don't think people should be dropping from the site already. If he takes it over and it's bad, people will leave naturally. But I guess he deserves a shot. Why wouldn't he?
It's a lot of power for someone with that much power to already have.
What about Zuckerberg?
I agree, but Elon Musk that's Zuckerberg got his money from Facebook. Elon Musk is a billionaire from growing up in South Africa in an emerald mine, if you want to really look it up, with his family. But my thing to me is he's such a free speech fanatic. This is what worries me, is that like a lot of the time you bring up that white supremacists on Facebook, they are not canceled or they're not deleted as they should, right, for hate speech. Well, Elon wants all of that and more. He doesn't think hate speech should be taken off. So what I worry about for Twitter is where I go to the news will now be covered with an endless amount of hatred.
Can I stop you there?
Please.
Why are you going to the news for Twitter for the news?
Well, there are some good reports.
No, I think there's reports, but then you should follow the authenticated accounts that are supposed to be news accounts. So if you're going to John Doe on Twitter for news and saying that that's polluting it with already something that has, like you said, white supremacists, people who are part of the Taliban existing on Twitter, nothing to me is really going to change. What he said that he wants to do is actually make people able to edit their tweets. Something that I will have liked to do for years. Why is that not an option?
And he just said that he wants to
make sure that people are not bots.
Right, they want to be verified.
That's also cool. Like, he hasn't said anything besides let more people, if you're saying let more people on there, and the argument has been President Trump, who said he's not going to get on there. So that's why I'm just trying to figure out what's the real argument when there's already people saying hateful things to us on Twitter that exists freely.
It's him, because it's him. But what you said is exactly right. Let's see how he runs it. It might be okay. And I don't think that anybody should not be doing anything because there might be white supremacists there. They probably are.
And he's also not president. He's just running Twitter. He's not running for office or leading us in any direction.
I agree. I'm just saying it's an enormous amount of power for one person to have, and he already has an enormous amount of power. That scares me.
That's what people say about me on this show.
No one says that, Al.
Okay.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with the talented and very funny Jennifer Lewis. Does she really have a drag queen living in her basement? She's giving us all the deets. Coming up next.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Our next guest has one of the most familiar faces in Hollywood and has quite the impressive resume. From playing beloved roles on TV and movies and on Broadway, she is the one and only mother of Black Hollywood. Check out our interview with the Jennifer Lewis. Please welcome to the show. It is our honor, Jennifer Lewis.
Absolutely.
So excited.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Truly, I follow you on Insta for a long time, so I'm geeking out. But everyone knows you as the mother of Black Hollywood, and I'd love to hear you say, how'd you get that nickname?
Well, you know, I started off in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It? And that sort of launched the mother career.
Yes.
Everybody asked me, Jennifer, why do you play everybody's mama? I say, honey, for that kind of money, I'll play the daddy. I mean, really.
I love her.
So I played everybody's mama.
Well, you're the best at it, and we're going to stay with the mother topic because you've got a drag queen, the drag queen, Shangela, living in your basement. Can you tell us how that happened and how fun that is?
He's been here 10 years, and he won't go nowhere. And I always tell him, you know, you are not going to be a bigger star than me. He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Jennifer, we're going to get serious for a second here because we seem to always talk about Kanye West on our show. And, you know, I take his back a lot of the times. And I know you've been open about dealing with bipolar disorder yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what don't people outside of Hollywood really understand on this topic?
You know, a lot of people have mental illness in my business, and we get into it because we can hide that mania, hide that depression. I tell people there's no shame in my game. Yeah, I did it. I laid out all my secrets in this book. I have it right here because it's a real important book. And here's the thing. We all have to pay attention. That family member that's dancing on the table at the family reunion, you know, we're busy playing spades going, oh, he's crazy. No, pay attention to the people you love. Reach out. And I always say this. You can't change anybody. You can try to help them, but everybody's got to do it for themselves.
Wow.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, Queen, we have to talk to you about your new show. I love that for you. Tell us what that first table read as Patricia was like. And you said you'd be scared of her if you met up with her on the street. So why?
Patricia is an ice queen. She is the founder and CEO of this shopping network called SVN. And honey, she's a straight shooter. Having played Ruby Johnson on Blackish for so many years, this character is light years from her, and I'm enjoying that. Listen, let's face it, Molly Shannon and Vanessa Bayer are right out of Saturday Night Live. These are comedic giants, and I had to step up to the plate a little bit. Everybody knows I'm pretty good too, but these two, they got so much love in them that I'm having a blast working with them. You walk on the set, and I walk on the set, and my whole chest feels lighter because I know I'm gonna laugh all day. They've called cut so many times because I'm laughing at these things.
That's the joy. Jennifer, thank you so much, Miss Lewis, for joining us.
You have to come
But
back.
I'm gonna tell you this before we go.
Yeah.
The show is already a hit.
There you go. To
It's
our viewers,
so good.
it's so good.
It's so funny.
I love that for you, which is also what we love, but it's also the name of our show. Is available to stream on Showtime April 29th before you'll be able to catch it on air May 1st. There's also a memoir, Walking in My Joy, that I'm buying immediately from you. You are amazing. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
A recent headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources: the actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary wildly from individual realities, the results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us. Quote, it is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week. And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
COVID-19 had a sizable impact on the fight against STD. Let's connect the dots. CDC data shows reported cases dropped during the early months of the pandemic before then surging at the end of 2020. Reported cases of gonorrhea and syphilis were up 10 and 7% from 2019. But reported cases of chlamydia, the most common STD in America, went down 13% from 2019. Researchers say several factors contributed to the initial decline, including less frequent in-person healthcare services. That resulted in fewer STD screenings nationwide, shortages of STD tests and laboratory supplies, as well as lapses in health insurance coverage are also factors for the drop in reported cases. The CDC calling for more health providers to prioritize STD prevention and make sure every person has access to health care free from stigma and discrimination. That is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back. So how much exercise do you need to live a longer, healthier life? That's today's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. Well, experts say the answer is around 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week, like walking. I can do that. Yeah. And if your workouts are more intense, you can even lower that amount of time. And here's a tip. Break up your workouts into 30-minute sessions throughout the week to maximize those results. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We might want to get some QBs for under this
I was going to say,
desk.
why haven't we done that? It would be super distracting. Our EP would lose his mind. But other than that,
we'd be twisting our chair back and forth.
I know, but like watching the game or something, I think they might go to hell. Lindsay started working out last night.
Yeah, I hit my limit. So just doing a couple push-ups and whatnot. No more QB. I mean, I like QB, but maybe y'all could do it and I'll cheer you on.
There we go.
I got a one-time exercise day max.
You got to let your arms rest up.
So how many days are you going to be working out? 1.
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
Started with 1 though. Come on, give me that.
Very good. All right, DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
One viewer texted us asking about the costs of regular gas versus ethanol. So let's verify. Does using an ethanol blend of gas rather than regular unleaded gas save you money? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy, the U.S. Department of Energy, and AAA. So the U.S. Department of Energy says ethanol is a renewable, domestically produced fuel for vehicles, and there are different blends. Most of the time, you'll see E15 or E85 at gas stations. The numbers, by the way, note the percentage of ethanol in the fuel. You'll also probably see E15 and E85 are often cheaper than regular unleaded gas. Now, before you fuel up, know that not every car can handle this blend. Your car's manual should show you whether it can. So let's calculate. Right now, the average E85 price is around $3.50. Regular gas is around $4.12. But the Department of Energy says the E85 blend will give you 27% fewer miles per gallon than regular gas. DeHaan says the average driver won't see a benefit from making the switch.
Yeah, it's not going to have an impact on people that fill up with regular gasoline. It's not a pricing impact. It's the availability of a fuel where it's available.
So we can verify, no, switching from regular gas to an ethanol blend won't save you money.
talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Newly released body cam video shows the chaotic moments after the Russ set shooting.
It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds.
Did Alec Baldwin evade questions? Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Will his push for free speech make the platform better or worse? Actress Jamie King is here live to tell us about her struggles with infertility, how she's hoping to help others by sharing her journey. And model and TV host Heidi Cliff will also be here live. What's in store for season 17 of America's Got Talent?
I am going to give you something golden.
Mama knows how to sing.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. How's everyone feeling today?
Good. How are you?
I feel good.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome
you.
back.
I'll share later in the show with our viewers. I was at Eric, my brother-in-law's celebration of life in Manhattan Beach, California. It was so very special and very fitting for the special person that he was. So stay tuned. We're going to show you all about that.
Very cool story.
I know. I shared it already with Jeff. Okay, so for the first time, you guys, we are getting to see the immediate aftermath of the fatal shooting on the Russ movie set. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office released video evidence showing deputies and paramedics responding to the scene. Now, after the cinematographer and director were shot, Helena Hutchins later died from her injuries. We also see police asking Alec Baldwin about the shooting shortly afterwards. Take a look.
Are you doing okay?
No, I'm not actually. I was the one holding the gun, yeah. Okay. I'm happy to stay right here and do everything I need.
Do you want a cigar?
Hands are shaking.
Wow. So other footage released shows rehearsal scenes from the movie, including Alec drawing the gun that was used in the shooting. Here's some of what Alec told police when he was questioned.
They take the gun, they empty and all the rounds that are in there were either dummy rounds, no flash, cold rounds, or rounds with a flash. In the rehearsal, there should have been nothing. It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds, cosmetic rounds, no flash. I take the gun out slowly, I cock the pistol, bang, it goes up, she hits the ground. She goes down. He goes down, screaming.
Wow, the Santa Fe County Sheriff told the Today Show that Alec is still, quote unquote, not off the hook, and that it's still too early to rule anything out right now. Now, Tori, what did you think first? Let's just take this beat by beat. What did you think of Alec's response to the police?
It felt a little like a movie scene he was kind of describing. I don't understand why this footage is being released. I do understand that people have asked for the Public of Information Act and it's being released for that reason. But we still have fingerprint analysis. We still have ballistic analysis. We have a court trial to go to. How is this not poisoning the entire jury pool by showing us this? I don't understand the advantage to this. I don't understand the advantage for Mr. Baldwin. I don't understand it against him. I just think this is way too much personal evidence that they should be keeping for people that have a say in what happens here. And it's very graphic, and we didn't show that. You can see her lying there. I don't understand why we need to see that.
That makes me angry. To Tori's point, how do you think this affects Helena's family?
Listen, this is a horrific accident. I'm going to say accident, right? And everyone wants to point the fingers and blame somebody, whether it be Alec Baldwin, because everyone knows his name, or someone else down the line. As far as Alec Baldwin, the actor, goes, watching this, I was kind of in my stance that I didn't blame Alec for it, and I'm even more so after watching this. I didn't think it was a movie scene. I thought it was very realistic. I thought it was being cooperative. He said his hands were shaking. He went through exactly what happened. I'm not an actor, right? I've done a couple things, but when I'm doing something like that, I focus on what I have to do. Here's my lines, here's my beat. If there is someone in charge called the armorer, if I was walking on this hallway and there's a job that says this hallway will not be wet, I'm not expecting it to be wet. So if I'm not worried about that, and it's a rehearsal, which there shouldn't be any rounds at all in there, I'm worried about what I have to do, not if there's something in there. I understand there was other procedures and things that happened on the set, but as an actor, I'm not thinking about that, right? So I'm again on Alec Baldwin's side, the actor, the producer who's overseeing the set. Now that's where he could get in trouble.
I just think that it reminds everyone that these are real human beings. Do I think it's necessary to see all of this, especially the parts that we didn't show? No, I don't think that I needed to see it or anyone in the public really needed to see it. But it does definitely add the human element to it. You know, we talked about yesterday with Megan Thee Stallion and like having to say what happened in the moment when you are actually a person in shock. And I don't know how many people have been in shock in like high intensity situations, but it feels like you've run a marathon. Like that stays with your body for days, if not a week. So the idea of seeing someone go through the motions, even though it feels and looks very calm, I don't know if humans are really capable of doing all of that. So how accurate was anything that he was saying in the moment anyway?
That's an interesting point. I think too, Tori, like there has to be blame placed. Is Alec Baldwin, the producer, one of the people to blame, considering that we have heard details that they had cut corners as far as hiring certain individuals to have a less budget?
I'm strong on this one. I think the buck stops with the producer. He had already cut corners, and hours before this, every single cinematographer had walked off the set because of safety protocols. Helena was the last one there. To me, that's just not something that you can forget and go into actor mode. That's a production crisis, and if you're not fixing that, then it's on you. I think he has some negligence in this, yes.
What do you think is going to happen to Alec's career after this?
I don't think anything.
You don't?
Yeah, no, I don't. I understand how high profile this case is, right, and how much we're following it. But again, me personally, I know you think opposite, and I know a lot of people do. I don't think this is going to affect him, right? It's terrible what happened. It's a terrible, terrible tragedy that happened. I don't know. Alec Baldwin does his own things that affects his career, but I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah, wow. Well, please let us know how you're feeling, DBL Nation. We always love to hear from you. And we do have a lot more about this coming up a little later in the show. We'll take a look at the footage released of the film's armorer. What did she say in the moments right after the shooting? Plus, will Elon Musk buying Twitter be a good thing or a bad thing for the platform? We're going to talk all about it. And she's a model, TV host, and businesswoman. Heidi Cliff, you guys, is going to be here live to talk about the newest season of America's Got Talent and more.
Closed captioning provided by...
This April, connect with Al, Tori, Erica, Jeff, and Sam.
What are we talking about?
Real conversations are on DBL. I love this story.
That's why you watch every show.
DBL, all new every day.
Thank you. Pretend that we're not like a little bit freaking out that Heidi Klum's on the show.
I don't hate it. No, I'm not mad.
Very excited. I saw it on the show, and this is what I went, whoa! Not like anything. It's just she's a big star. I really liked her career.
What did you do?
Oh, like gazonga.
Save it for this interview.
It's not right. It's not right. Heidi, oh, you're like, you know, she's just a really cool person.
Twitter's next.
With great taste. And if you ever watched the beginning of Project Runway, it was just fascinating to see.
I'm more
Did you
on
like the beginning of it, Sam?
The box.
Oh, when she and Tim Gunn were just not figuring it out.
By the way, we
so exciting.
sort of at 10:30 kept the Twitter conversation in the right realm, knowing that, you know, who our audience is and stuff like that. And we don't want to get too into the weeds about
That's
Twitter.
a great question. Who of you watching right now on YouTube also go to Twitter? I would love to find out the temperature check on you guys. A lot of people in the 10:30 early show say they don't go on Twitter at all. So I'd love to get a take on what you guys in the YouTube chat room.
If I remember
that's like
that,
a
I'll
major
write
thing
it
you
down.
do or not do.
I got a lot about the
Heidi
the
is the cute. Isn't she the like? You know, Anne Hathaway sat across from her at dinner once and said it felt like she was looking at a goddess. Do you think that's how people think about me? Great.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Mm-hmm. Just say yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
It's definitely not. Oh boy. Project Runway is amazing, wasn't it? And she's just, you know, Tyra tried it, other people tried it, but Heidi really
that's a good question.
kicked it into high gear with supermodel/host. I don't think it's easy. I couldn't be both. I try.
Is this what you do like when you're at home? You just talk to objects in the room?
She does like this, right?
Welcome back. Have you guys heard the world's richest man just successfully took over Twitter? Elon Musk and the board of Twitter agreed to a, are you ready? $44 billion deal yesterday, which means Elon is taking the company private. Elon tweeted yesterday that he wants his worst critics to remain on Twitter. He also tweeted that he wants to make Twitter better than ever. Now, some people are already leaving the site in protest. There are also reports that some Twitter employees are worried about what this could mean for them, while others are cautiously optimistic. How are we feeling, Jeff?
I'm for it. I know a lot of people do not like this, but specifically for verification purposes, I love this, right?
Because what did Elon say he's going to do?
He's going to get rid of all the bots. And people have no idea what bots are doing to our country. They go back to Eastern Europe. I'm not just making this up. There's millions and millions of bots. In 2017, just think of this alone, 48 million bots. That was 5 years ago, okay? That's 9 to 15% of people online. That was 5 years ago. So imagine what it is now. Norton Antivirus, since January 2020, 200 million tweets telling the country to open back up.
Which are fake accounts.
We're bots.
Right. Tell
We're bots.
viewers
yes.
a bot equals a fake account.
It's a fake account. It's not a real person. You could actually, when I was searching bots online, it tells you how to make a bot. So that's where we're at. The top 500 retweets from what I just said, dividing our country, were bots.
Wow.
41 to 82% were bots. People are interjecting these bots into our country, into our conversations with racism, anti-this, anti-that, masks, and they're the ones causing the problem. There's a whole Reddit thread of bots fighting bots that's not even real people. And people jump into the conversation not knowing what they're getting into. So I think a lot of people view America as social media, right? It's racist, it's this, it's that, which might be true to a certain extent, but not what we think. And if Elon could erase some of those bots and just get people responsible for what they're actually saying, I think it's going to help tremendously in that aspect alone.
That's interesting. Well, no, it is interesting. I had never even heard those stats before. When I'm thinking about it, some of the things that come to mind do have to do with the idea of racism. There's a lot of people that are questioning Elon's past, and if this is going to bring us to a path of opening the door to further white supremacy. There's also people who are criticizing him for asking what would it cost to cure world hunger, and the answer was $6 billion, and the steps were put in front of him, and he put $44 billion into Twitter. So there are some questions here. You know, do we want one of the richest men or the richest man to own or have their say, when also we know that he's also been accused of utilizing Twitter in order to manipulate stock prices? That's a lot of power. So I do have a lot of skepticism about it. I'm not a big Twitter person, but I have skepticism about it.
Are you worried about it, Tori?
Yeah, I'm worried for very similar reasons. One, I don't think anyone on this earth should have that much power over that much power. Twitter is enormously effective in communication. He already is the richest man in the world. To now own this, we're in a Bond villain like the cat thing again. I don't like that at all, and I don't think the founders of this country like that at all. But second, his free speech fanaticism, I agree with you. I like the verification, actually. You two have both changed my mind on that. I like the bot ending. The free speech fanaticism in which he is going to replace any kind of hate speech and let it be a free-for-all is something I will willingly leave.
Or disinformation.
Or disinformation.
Wouldn't you like to know who's saying it, though, and have them be responsible for their own words?
I agree with you on the bots. But if I go on there and a Nazi is allowed to tell me I'm going to die because I'm a Jew, and he believes that is free speech and should be protected, I'm out. I'm out.
Well, they tell me to kill my children. I want to know who said that.
That's
right.
fair.
Okay?
That's
fair enough.
Yeah.
And I just want to say CNBC put out a stat to your $6 billion to end world hunger. The $42 billion deal, he could pay $1 million to every single citizen in the world for that much money. That's insanity. That would solve everything. God. Coming up on DBL, you guys, we got her, Heidi Cliff. Yep, joining us live. There she is. We cannot wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So Let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Tell me where or when I know it's gonna last forever.
Woo, I'm feeling it. You know our next guest, best for her beauty, her grace, and even a little lace. She's on all your favorite shows, from America's Got Talent to Making the Cut. Also, can I add Queen of Halloween? Please welcome Heidi Cliff. Yeah. Heidi, okay, we loved seeing you rock out to your song. We're going to get to that. I first just have to address the elephant in the room, that painting behind you. What is this?
Oh, Marilyn?
No, the one of you, the caricature of you.
I mean, he sent this to me. It is so amazing. It has my husband, our dog. You know, we have a gigantic wolfhound.
Anton.
Look how good they did it. I love it so much.
That is so cool. Heidi, you are the coolest. Okay, so now let's talk about the fact that, and we might be having a tiny bit of technical difficulties, but I think we're okay. Let's talk about the long list of accomplishments that you have. I mean, I don't think I have a piece of paper or a scroll long enough, but now we can add rapping with Snoop Dogg to it. How did that all come about?
So I am currently in my 17th season of doing Germany's Next Top Model. Basically, it's Tyra's show. You know, here she did America's Next Top Model. I do the German version of that. And the network asked me if I would do the theme song that show and for that season, and I said yes, I would love to, but maybe I do it with someone that knows how to sing and one of my most favorite artists, and that is Snoop Dogg. So I just literally called him up and I asked him if he would do this with me. And so my husband wrote the song, and then Snoop rapped over it. And then I was thinking, well, what should I sing? And then, you know, I don't know, I'm always kind of singing in the shower, I'm singing in the car. And so I was like, you know, I really love, you know, Baby Jane by Rod Stewart, and maybe I do, you know, that hook. And my husband is like, okay, let's try it. So then, you know, I sang it, and then he shoved it in there, and that's how it all came about.
Amazing. It's a jam. It's a jam.
Heidi, I got a quick question. Speaking of trying things, if you're on set with Snoop Dogg, I mean, you're going to try something, right? I don't know if you partook, but I'm not even big on that. I definitely would have a, you know, smoke with Snoop Dogg.
Well, I mean, Snoop's smoke definitely has a zip code on its own, you know, when he comes in. It's gigantic. So I don't know if you have a choice, you know. I was really having the munchies that day, and maybe that explains it.
Contact high for sure.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. All right, America's Got Talent has been on forever. I'm a huge fan, and now you're casting for season 17. So for people out there, if you were going to try out Heidi yourself, what would you do to guarantee a spot on that show?
I mean, they are so creative. It's crazy. You know, we have everyone from musician to magicians to comedians to ventriloquists, aerialists, dancers, you name it. Some, I don't even know what it is, what they're doing. They come onto the stage, and we had an apple the other day, and like a weird worm came out, and he was like worming around on the floor. We were like, what is happening? to me, the castings are always the most fun. We even did goat yoga the other day, or I had to do an eating competition. Thankfully, they were buzzing because I was already down 5 deviled eggs, and then the next day was sushi. I was like, please push the buzzer so it's over. So I love all of it. I mean, what we love most is being surprised. I guess the same way how people are at home loving that too, when you just don't know who shows up next and you see something that is completely different. And I feel like this year people kind of took a little bit of magic, they took a little bit of comedy, a little bit of Ariel, they mushed it all up and spat out new acts. So we've seen the most wildest things this year, and it's been a lot of fun. Now, I pushed my buzzer for someone who I didn't really want to push for this year, because I kind of, it's a variety show, so I always also think of a producer, because I want to always push people forward, who then America can vote on. And it should always be the same category, but then you can't help it. When your person is in front of you and they're doing their bit and you feel in your gut, this is my golden buzzer, you just got to go for it. And so I did. And I love golden buzzer, but I wasn't going to go for this category. But it's an emotional roller coaster ride, that show. It's just so amazing because you hear people's stories and then they do their act and you sit there and you're like, oh, wow. I love them, and so I had to push.
Well, Heidi, let's talk about your show, Making the Cut, because it got picked up.
I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Oh, we're not here?
Can you hear us, Heidi? All right, we're experiencing some technical difficulties.
I have no sound.
Yeah, we can write
Where's my
our
sound
questions
gone?
on a cue card. I'm going to find out if we can get Heidi back. They're going to work on it. In the meantime, the fact that she is a good singer, does she not get any better? She has that high, gorgeous, perfect voice, and she just doesn't age.
I mean, sometimes life isn't fair. Sam, is what we really need to come down. We need to come to terms with that.
Okay, let's get to
Erica,
her.
get it.
All right, Heidi, let's get to your show. Yes, girl. Welcome back. So your show, Making the Cut, got picked up for season 3. Congratulations. Yes, but I want to know, how does Tim Gunn rank up against Howie and Simon in terms of the criticism as a judge?
I mean, it's very different. Tim Gunn has been my TV husband for over 17 years. It's the longest relationship I've ever been in. And he's not really a judge. He's more of a mentor. He also is kind of like, oh, good God heavens, I could never put myself to actually, because he doesn't even want to be in that position. I think it's also very hard for people to be brutally honest and kind of say what they think. And, we never do this to be mean to anyone, but to kind of just push them always a little bit further, to light a little fire under their booty, to make them work harder and possibly get $1 million, I mean, who else gives you $1 million? I mean, apart from America's Got Talent, I don't know any other show that gives such a gigantic prize. Also, with having a line on Amazon fashion afterwards, people can go immediately and buy the winning look every week, which is so fun. And
you make dreams come true, Heidi. You really do. We wish we could have you on longer. Hopefully next time. DBL Nation Chai Tea with Heidi is out now. Make sure to tune in to the new seasons of America's Got Talent and Making the Cut. We'll be right back. Thanks, Heidi.
Thanks, Heidi. Dankeschön.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
A recent headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources: the actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary widely from individual realities, The results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us, quote, "It is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week." And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
COVID-19 had a sizable impact on the fight against STD. Let's connect the dots. CDC data shows reported cases dropped during the early months of the pandemic before then surging at the end of 2020. Reported cases of gonorrhea and syphilis were up 10 and 7% from 2019. But reported cases of chlamydia, the most common STD in America, went down 13% from 2019. Researchers say several factors contributed to the initial decline, including less frequent in-person healthcare services. That resulted in fewer STD screenings nationwide, shortages of STD tests and laboratory supplies, as well as lapses in health insurance coverage are also factors for the drop in reported cases. The CDC calling for more health providers to prioritize STD prevention and make sure every person has access to health care free from stigma and discrimination. That is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back. Okay, so we did a YouTube poll asking our viewers if they felt it was right to release the footage in regard to Helena Hutchins.
Oh, interesting.
Looks like 80% of you said no. So we're all in agreement there. It just doesn't sit right. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our mobile app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here's what's ahead. Johnny Depp's final day on the stand. Why Johnny's claiming he is the victim in his relationship with Amber Heard. And body cam video shows the Russ set armorer moments after the shooting. Find out what she said following the incident.
Texted us asking about the costs of regular gas versus ethanol. So let's verify. Does using an ethanol blend of gas rather than regular unleaded gas save you money? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy, the U.S. Department of Energy, and AAA. So the U.S. Department of Energy says ethanol is a renewable, domestically produced fuel for vehicles, and there are different blends. Most of the time, you'll see E15 or E85 at gas stations. The numbers, by the way, note the percentage of ethanol in the fuel. You'll also probably see E15 and E85 are often cheaper than regular unleaded gas. Now, before you fuel up, know that not every car can handle this blend. Your car's manual should show you whether it can. So let's calculate. Right now, the average E85 price is around $3.50. Regular gas is around $4.12. But the Department of Energy says the E85 blend will give you 27% fewer miles per gallon than regular gas. DeHaan says the average driver won't see a benefit from making the switch.
Yeah, it's not going to have an impact on people that fill up with regular gasoline. It's not a pricing impact. It's the availability of a fuel where it's available.
So we can verify, no, switching from regular gas to an ethanol blend won't save you money.
Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. Okay, so if you saw the first half of our show, if you haven't, go to our YouTube because we talk in depth in regard to Alec Baldwin and his response to the police. But now we're going to get to some additional body cam footage from the Russ movie set. Also showed how the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, reacted moments after the shooting. So video shows Hannah, who's 24, being questioned by deputies. When asked if she's the film's armorer, she said, quote, "I am, or at least I was." She also called herself a, quote, bleeping failure and said she messed up her entire career. Take a listen.
Welcome to the worst day of my life. I can't believe Alec Baldwin was holding the gun. That's so.
So the sheriff's office also released video of an interview with the film's ammunition supplier who said Hannah Gutierrez Reed had asked for live ammo for a film she was working on prior to Rust. He says he refused her request because live ammo is never allowed on set. What do you make, Tori, of Hannah's reaction?
God, she just looks like a kid, doesn't she? She just looks, it just shocked me. She's 24 years old and it just didn't feel like she was taking it that seriously. I mean, she's scrolling on her phone and kind of saying this is the worst day of my life. First of all, why does she have a phone if she's being held in some kind of investigation? She can text anyone at any point. It just feels a little lackadaisical is all it is. Now, her father is a famous film armorer for like Django Unchained, so she knows the drill of what should be done, but asking for live ammo is just an enormous red flag.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with talking about what the father does because my dad's a mortician and I cannot embalm a body. You know, and I grew up around, you know, in funeral homes.
But no one hired you to embalm a body.
I understand that, but I think also that's where I'm like, you know, you hear about actors whose kids become actors. That's very inconsequential. Like, this is a very consequential field, and it kind of begs the question why someone who clearly would have had so little experience just based on her age alone would have been given such an enormous responsibility, especially as the idea that it wasn't a union production. Now, I'm not absolving her of responsibility, but why wasn't that request flagged to begin with? Like, you clearly have someone who knew enough to flag that request but didn't report it until after the fact. Like, there's a lot that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think that text message, because it was a text message between the ammunition expert and her when she was requesting for live ammo, and he claims he declined it. This was for the film right before prior. Now, some films have a culture where some of the actors and some of the crew will go off set and they will do target practice with live bullets. That's illegal. They're not supposed to, but it does happen on set. My theory is that she provided live ammunition. This is just my theory. She was clearly searching for it, according to the ammunition expert. She got that live ammunition and somehow it got mixed up with the Rust ammunition. That is my theory. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
That points to liability to me, right? If I'm on set and someone says, hey, get me drugs, and I get them drugs, it's my responsibility. She brought live ammo onto the set.
Allegedly. We don't know.
Allegedly. And at 24 years old, if your father is in this business, which means you grew up in this business, 24 is not that young. You have to have some accountability. Again, this brings me to my point that I said earlier, that the finger's starting to point away from Alec Baldwin. There was a chain of events, unfortunate as it was, that led to this situation. And as you go further down the chain, Alec Baldwin is less and less
unless
the actor.
he hired her to cut costs. We don't know that. That's just me.
But unless he hired her to say, hey, get these guys some live ammo so we can shoot around set, then he's responsible. But if he didn't do that, she is responsible.
But remember, that gun had gone off or discharged, we think, allegedly twice on set already. If you're the producer of that.
But that's your job. That's her job.
But you're the producer. You're on top of her and saying that's a crisis. You either fire her or you fix it. You're having set members walk off. There's an issue there with safety.
Yeah. If I punch, I don't know. If I punch someone in the face that's working right here, it's our producer's fault?
No, it would be, in my opinion,
because they hired me?
No, it would be both, in my opinion.
I think a lot of people want to blame Alec Baldwin as opposed to a young woman, and I get that.
No,
but it's like,
oh, I see what you're saying. I think both are at fault.
If we find out that text message, she went and got live ammunition, I 1,000% blame her. I'm with you there. I am. Okay, so let's talk about Johnny Depp. Wow, he had his final day on the stand yesterday. The jury listened to audio recordings of he and Amber arguing, and at one point, Johnny said, quote, he was the victim of domestic violence. Now, the court also heard a bizarre exchange between them 2 months after she filed for divorce, where he took out a knife and asked Amber to cut him. On the stand, Johnny explained why he did that. Watch.
You want my blood? Take it. Have my blood. And then she said, no. And then I said, look, if you're not going to take it, and you want it, I know you want it, that's all I've got left, take it. If she wasn't going to do it, I would have done it. Because that's psychologically, emotionally where I was. I was at the end. I was broken.
Erica, what do you make of this? Oh, you have a look on your face. Tell us.
This is why breakups and divorce are so necessary. Like, sometimes it just gets to a point where you just have to call it. And it's way before this, okay?
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, like, this whole thing is so bananas, but it's also very indicative of what a lot of people experience, the toxicity. It goes entirely too far. You trap yourself in a prism, and it turns out like that. If you ever wondered if any of y'all are romanticizing the past after a toxic relationship, just be like, oh, that was behind door number 2. I feel better about it.
My question is, isn't Johnny Depp from Pittsburgh? Where does that accent come from?
We see that a lot with certain artists, right? Madonna, we did when she went to London. They're very impressionable with accents because they're artists.
But that makes me feel like he's up there. He's very captivating, and the accent draws me in even more. And what he's talking about, as bananas as it is, I'm like, huh, you want to cut your finger off? Like, I'm in.
And there's proof that he actually at some point did allegedly cut. There's something wrong with his finger, and someone asked, and he might have cut his own finger off. At some point, you worry that this backfires and it becomes a movie. I mean, you do worry that the lawyer can't let him be too Johnny Depp, because then it starts to feel like acting. I mean, for real, like, you've got to play it really clear. And I know what you mean about
if I was a judge, I might be swayed just by his persona.
Right, but you could backfire that where you're like, I'm not believing you anymore.
Oh, I see.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like, this whole thing is a stage. So I'm interested in hearing Amber.
We don't know if she's going to take the stand.
We don't know yet. Yes. I hope she does to hear, but man, everyone online is just like, this is a tire fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're sticking to that tire fire.
I'm just thinking it'll catch on.
Bringing that
It'll
up.
catch on.
Okay.
All
right. Well, supermodel Lauren Hutton is sharing her thoughts on plastic surgery. So Lauren, who's 78, appears topless on the cover of Harper's Bazaar, looking fabulous. She told the magazine, although she has had Botox and collagen, there is a fine line when it comes to cosmetic procedures, and that there are people who she finds hard to look at today because their faces don't look like the people she once knew. Lauren says she keeps her beauty routine simple because she's usually in a rush to get to bed to, quote, make love or read. Okay.
Get real. Listen, she looks terrific, but get real with this. I'm so old and I make love 5 times a day. Get out of here with
Suzanne
that.
Summers
We debunked it.
Suzanne
We debunked it. We talked to Suzanne Summers. She goes, no, I do not do that 5 times a day.
Did she say it?
Yeah, we debunked that.
She said one week they did.
But get real. Everyone's like, oh, man, I'm so cool. I make love every day. Come on, get real. You got things to do. You want to get some rest. Enough.
Well, I think she looks fabulous, but I do think that we also have to account for genetics, because you can say that and it's like, that's cool, but everybody isn't in that boat. Now, my grandma Stella passed away at 96 years old. That woman chewed tobacco from the time she was 16 years old. True story. Every day from the time she was 16 years old. She didn't have one wrinkle.
Yeah. Well, Erica,
it wasn't like,
don't you dare, girl. Look at
I'm being really serious.
I know, but you and your family are a lot different than most. Okay.
No, I'm saying, but that goes back to like genetics.
Yes.
You can't be like, oh, this all me, dog. You know, like there has to be something where it's like, hey, maybe you have great hair. I have great skin.
Yeah.
You know, you have long legs. I don't. You know, like whatever it is.
Right, she's a former supermodel, and to your point, yes, she's just saying getting Botox and collagen. That is expensive, and you have to get it touched up every 3, 4, 5, 6 months. A lot of people can't afford to do that type of upkeep. No, shame on her at all. Go for it. I get Botox. But the point is that that's not an easy upkeep for the average person.
Right.
What did you think about psychologically looking at someone maybe that doesn't look like the person you once knew? What did you think about that?
It's hard when they've just overdone it, and you've gone 2 or 5 steps too far. Lauren Hutton looks absolutely fabulous. That's how you do it. She was also a supermodel, let's be honest. Genetics plays a part. I'm obsessed with the gap in that dang teeth.
Me too.
I can't get enough of that tooth gap.
Yeah.
Can't get enough.
And she has better cleavage than
Very
me.
nice. Now she's pushing it up, and I like that, but you have beautiful cleavage.
No, honey,
yes,
I've nursed 2 kids. There's no cleavage anymore. It's just... That's the sound of gravity. Coming up on DBL, actress Jamie King joins us live. There she is. We can't wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
This April, connect with Al, Tori, Erica, Jeff, and Sam.
What are we talking about?
Real conversations are on DBL. I love this story.
That's why you watch every show.
DBL, all new every day.
A lot of people writing in about Johnny Depp and how awful it is. And again, you guys are right. A lot of people saying this is not a divorce trial. This is a defamation slander trial, and it gets even worse after that. And remember, it's even harder to sue someone who's a public person of defamation. So this really had to cross the line. I don't think anyone wants to hear any more of it. I don't.
Well, just the idea of like,
dreadful.
This is after.
So dreadful.
It's really sad because you think about Johnny Depp, the actor, and his legacy, and we're gonna remember this more than we remembered what he was actually famous for. And Johnny Depp had, I think at one point he was talking about how he spent like $1 million on wine a year. So he like blew his fortune.
Right. And then a cannon to like.
He bought a
bought
weird
a cannon
things.
to put his friend's ashes in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which
Blow
is
it off.
really cool, but it cost a lot.
Yeah, and he was trying to make up that money with going into like the big Marvels and the DC, like he was trying.
And now
then
he
he got
can't.
kicked out.
Canceled.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
this is like crazy, but I do think that if things aren't working out, don't just tear each other apart. There really are going to be other people out there for you.
Yeah.
I swear to you.
Is there legally? Can the judge say you're both culpable? I'm dismissing
No,
this
one
case.
person has to win a slander case or not. So
even if he's noticing that there's just they're both it takes 2
But
right
she
here.
don't have 50 million. I wouldn't think.
she's doing
either.
it for she's in Aquaman. She has some money, but
Not
she,
50
I agree,
million.
but that's also for nominal to show how much he was hurt. He's trying to show how much.
Right, but if he wins, does she have to go bankrupt? How does that work?
Or whatever movie she makes next, all the money would go to him.
Really?
Yeah. So the thing with
No
this
worries,
is
Emily. I think we're just spitballing.
Yeah, we are spitballing.
Chances are you either know someone or are someone who has struggled with infertility. That's because in the U.S., 1 in 4 women have trouble getting pregnant or carrying a baby to term. And this week is National Infertility Awareness Week. And actress Jamie King is sharing her story to help others. Please welcome to the show, Jamie. Thank you.
Hi.
Jamie, a lot of people suffer in silence, and I can only imagine a lot of our viewers are suffering in silence. So for you to have the courage to speak about this and destigmatize it, you are saving lives and you're getting the knowledge out there. Knowledge is power. Today, though, you are a proud mom of 2 beautiful boys, but you yourself struggled with infertility for many years. What was the hardest part of your journey?
The hardest part for me was really presented when I was around 26 years old, and I lost my first baby at that age. And I went to 9 doctors. It was the 9th doctor that finally diagnosed me correctly with endometriosis and PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I was so confounded. As first of all, at that time, nobody talked about what it meant to lose a child or miscarrying or
Right.
these different diseases. So it was a very scary time for me. And then I realized that I had to do something about it, and I would do something about it by bringing education and awareness and talking to other women about their experiences, because of the way that it isolates you and makes you feel in many ways broken, right? I think that our society tells us that we're just supposed to be these like fertile goddesses, and if there's something wrong, then it's like, it impacts your life in a huge way.
So Jamie, PCOS is actually a pretty common hormonal disorder, right? So how does PCOS impact your acting career and day-to-day life?
I mean, in so many ways, and especially when I wasn't diagnosed and when I was working through the diagnosis, because there's so at that time there were very limited ways to shift or change it. And so ultimately it's like, everything that you do, it's like you're in pain consistently, then you want to isolate yourself. It's when you're working, like I would just when I'm acting, I just use it. Like I'll use it for the scene, however that is. It's sort of like acting as if. But that's a big part of, what I call a silent disease, which is something that's not seen on the surface that so many people have, whether it's PCOS or many other diseases. If people can't see it physically, it's like it doesn't exist.
Right. And that's a lot of mental health too. I just have to say thank you for giving a voice and a name to endometriosis, PCOS. Someone even wrote right now, Cheryl said, I had 2 miscarriages. I understand everything she's talking about. Just having a conversation like this on daytime television is pretty revolutionary. So I really appreciate you activating that. I really, really do.
I'm so grateful for you guys having me on. Truly, it means so much. It really does. Because so many women have this, and they're either undiagnosed or no one's talking about it, and there's such a huge void in women's healthcare.
Yes.
And especially now with everything that's happening, it's insanity. And that's why I'm so thankful, to be on the board of Alara, because especially women of color or that don't have the money or insurance to see specialists and multiple doctors. It's crazy to me that I don't know. I feel like if men were to have something like this, it'd be like, oh, good, we got it. You're hooked up, like you're fine.
You're in every store,
free,
right?
Out of the vending machine.
Yeah, it'd be like Dorito flavor too. And I just have to say, our show really prioritizes that. So we appreciate you having this conversation with us. Speaking of working with that private diagnosis, you and Bruce Willis starred in last year's movie Out of Death, and that's one of his last films before he had this unexpected retirement. What memories do you have of working with Bruce? How was it? He's such a legend.
He is the legend of legends.
Right.
To me, he's like family. I've known him, for almost like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And his daughters are very dear friends of mine. He's an extraordinary, not just, again, he's iconic.
Yeah.
It's Bruce. And, working with him is always a dream come true. He is the most gentle soul, and to be in the moment in these scenes with him was extraordinary. And, I'm really, I think it's extraordinarily beautiful how they have handled it and how honest they are. They're just an amazing family.
That's good to hear. Really good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the comments from our viewers. You're making a lot of people feel seen and heard, Jamie, and that right there is priceless. So we appreciate you.
That's making me cry.
Yeah, no, it's true. You're making me emotional as well. To our DBL Nation, join the Alara community. You'll learn a lot more. Visit alarahealth.com. Jamie, sincerely, thank you for your advocacy. We'll be right back. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks,
Jamie.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. How much exercise do you need to live a longer, healthy life? That's today's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Well, experts say the answer is 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week, like walking. And if your workouts are more intense, you can actually lower that amount of time. And here's a tip. Break up your workouts into 30-minute sessions throughout the week to maximize your results. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of your physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Recent headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources. The actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary wildly from individual realities, the results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us, quote, "It is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week, or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week." And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
COVID-19 had a sizable impact on the fight against STD. Let's connect the dots. CDC data shows reported cases dropped during the early months of the pandemic before then surging at the end of 2020. Reported cases of gonorrhea and syphilis were up 10 and 7%, from 2019. But reported cases of chlamydia, the most common STD in America, went down 13% from 2019. Researchers say several factors contributed to the initial decline, including less frequent in-person healthcare services. That resulted in fewer STD screenings nationwide, shortages of STD tests and laboratory supplies, as well as lapses in health insurance coverage are also factors for the drop in reported cases. The CDC calling for more health providers to prioritize STD prevention and make sure every person has access to health care free from stigma and discrimination. That is Connecting the Dots.
Before we go, I wanted to share something really special with you all because you all have been such huge supporters and advocates and prayed for my brother-in-law, Eric. Well, we finally were able to celebrate his life in Manhattan Beach, where he grew up over the weekend. I want to show you some of the pictures. So Eric was a very talented surfer. And let me tell you, everybody not only respected him as a surfer, but as a person. So people from all over came out, flew out from Hawaii, from all over the U.S., a lot of his buddies, obviously, that he grew up with. And we paid, you know, there's my sister and their kids. And we honored him the way that he deserved with a paddle out. All of the surfers in the South Bay came out and paddled out. There it is. And when you paddle out, you know, you throw flowers in the middle of the circle, his ashes, they're all pounding the water. You can see their arms up. They're sharing stories. There's me and my other sister, Monica, talking about the love of just the community that surrounded Eric. I mean, really, everybody under the sun showed up. And there we are dancing to Pennywise. Now, if you know punk rock music, you know Pennywise. And there's a really iconic song called Bro Him. And the lead singer, Jim Lindbergh, is a buddy of Eric's. They grew up together. So Jim actually sang, the lead singer. And if you know Pennywise, like Rob and our editor, Joel, you'll know how iconic this is. This is Jim singing Bro Him in honor of Eric.
The fun was never ending. Back from here was always the beginning. That Kevin down march once for you. Here we go.
Yeah, it was a send-off fit for a king, because that's how people valued him. And I'm just so happy that my sister and Eric from above and their children got to see all that love and support. And Ari, Jackson, Mia, you have an army of supporters behind you forever. And so that was really beautiful. Yeah.
It must have been very cathartic for you, your family, the kids, especially to see how much he was loved, right, and move forward.
Amen. I think his kids always knew their daddy was a hero, but now they really know, whoa, all these people value. Yes, exactly. So thank you all for all the support over the past year and a half. You guys have helped become our lifelines, and I wanted to share that with you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe.
The fun was never ending. Back from here was always the beginning. That Kevin down march once for you. Here we go.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Newly released body cam video shows the chaotic moments after the Russ set shooting.
It should have been a cold gun
with no rounds inside or dummy rounds.
Did Alec Baldwin evade questions? Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Will his push for free speech make the platform better or worse? Actress Jamie King is here live to tell us about her struggles with infertility, how she's hoping to help others by sharing her journey. And model and TV host Heidi Cliff will also be here live. What's in store for season 17 of America's Got Talent?
I am going to give you something golden. Mama knows how to sing.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
No.
Just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. How's everyone feeling today?
Good. How are you?
I feel good.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome back.
you. I'll share later in the show with our viewers. I was at Eric, my brother-in-law's celebration of life in Manhattan Beach, California. It was so very special and very fitting for the special person that he was. So stay tuned. We're going to show you all about that.
Very cool story.
I know. I shared it already with Jeff. Okay, so for the first time, you guys, we are getting to see the immediate aftermath of the fatal shooting on the Russ movie set. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office released video evidence showing deputies and paramedics responding to the scene. Now, after the cinematographer and director were shot, Helena Hutchins later died from her injuries. We also see police asking Alec Baldwin about the shooting shortly afterwards. Take a look.
Are you doing okay?
No, I'm not actually. I was the one holding the gun, yeah. I'm happy to stay right here and do everything I need. Hands are shaking.
Wow. So other footage released shows rehearsal scenes from the movie, including Alec drawing the gun that was used in the shooting. Here's some of what Alec told police when he was questioned.
They take the gun, they empty the, and all the rounds that are in there were either dummy rounds, no flash, cold rounds, or rounds with a flash. In the rehearsal, there should have been nothing. It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds, cosmetic rounds, no flash. I take the gun out slowly, I cock the pistol, bang, it goes up. She hits the ground. She goes down. He goes down, screaming.
Wow, the Santa Fe County Sheriff told the Today Show that Alec is still, quote unquote, not off the hook, and that it's still too early to rule anything out right now. Now, Tori, what did you think first? Let's just take this beat by beat. What did you think of Alec's response to the police?
It felt a little like a movie scene he was kind of describing. I don't understand why this footage is being released. I do understand that people have asked for the Public of Information Act, and it's being released for that reason. But we still have fingerprint analysis. We still have ballistic analysis. We have a court trial to go to. How is this not poisoning the entire jury pool by showing us this? I don't understand the advantage to this. I don't understand the advantage for Mr. Baldwin. I don't understand it against him. I just think this is way too much personal evidence that they should be keeping for people that have a say in what happens here. And it's very graphic, and we didn't show that. You can see her lying there. I don't understand why we need to see that.
That makes me angry. To Tori's point, how do you think this affects Helena's family?
Listen, this is a horrific accident. I'm going to say accident, right? And everyone wants to point the fingers and blame somebody, whether it be Alec Baldwin, because everyone knows his name, or someone else down the line. As far as Alec Baldwin, the actor, goes, watching this, I was kind of in my stance that I didn't blame Alec for it, and I'm even more so after watching this. I didn't think it was a movie scene. I thought it was very realistic. I thought it was being cooperative. He said his hands were shaking. He went through exactly what happened. I'm not an actor, right? I've done a couple things, but when I'm doing something like that, I focus on what I have to do. Here's my lines, here's my beat. If there is someone in charge called the armorer, if I was walking on this hallway and there's a job that says this hallway will not be wet, I'm not expecting it to be wet. So if I'm not worried about that, and it's a rehearsal, which there shouldn't be any rounds at all in there, I'm worried about what I have to do, not if there's something in there. I understand there was other procedures and things that happened on the set, but as an actor, I'm not thinking about that, right? So I'm again on Alec Baldwin's side, the actor, the producer who's overseeing the set. Now that's where he could get in trouble.
I just think that it reminds everyone that these are real human beings. Do I think it's necessary to see all of this, especially the parts that we didn't show? No, I don't think that I needed to see it or anyone in the public really needed to see it. But it does definitely add the human element to it. You know, we talked about yesterday with Megan Thee Stallion and like having to say what happened in the moment when you are actually a person in shock. And I don't know how many people have been in shock in like high intensity situations, but it feels like you've run a marathon. Like that stays with your body for days, if not a week. So the idea of seeing someone go through the motions, even though it feels and looks very calm, I don't know if humans are really capable of doing all of that. So how accurate was anything that he was saying in the moment anyway?
That's an interesting point. I think too, Tori, like there has to be blame placed. Is Alec Baldwin, the producer, one of the people to blame, considering that we have heard details that they had cut corners as far as hiring certain individuals to have a less budget?
I'm strong on this one. I think the buck stops with the producer. He had already cut corners, and hours before this, every single cinematographer had walked off the set because of safety protocols. Helena was the last one there. To me, that's just not something that you can forget and go into actor mode. That's a production crisis. And if you're not fixing that, then it's on you. I think he has some negligence in this, yes.
What do you think is going to happen to Alec's career after this?
I don't think anything.
You don't?
Yeah, no, I don't. I understand how high profile this case is, right, and how much we're following it. But again, me personally, I know you think opposite, and I know a lot of people do. I don't think this is going to affect him, right? It's terrible what happened. It's a terrible, terrible tragedy that happened. I don't know. Alec Baldwin does his own things that affects his career, but I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah, wow. Well, please let us know how you're feeling, DBL Nation. We always love to hear from you. And we do have a lot more about this coming up a little later in the show. We'll take a look at the footage released of the film's armorer. What did she say in the moments right after the shooting? Plus, will Elon Musk buying Twitter be a good thing or a bad thing for the platform? We're going to talk all about it. And she's a model, TV host, and businesswoman. Heidi Cliff, you guys, is going to be here live to talk about the newest season of America's Got Talent and more.
Closed captioning provided by...
This April, connect with Al, Tori, Erica, Jeff, and Sam.
What are we talking about?
Real conversations are on DBL. I love this story.
That's why you watch every show.
DBL, all new every day.
Thank you. Pretend that we're not like a little bit freaking out that Heidi Klum's on the show.
I don't hate it. No, I'm not mad.
Very excited. I saw it on the show, and this is what I went, whoa! Not like anything. It's just she's a big star. I really liked her career.
What did you do?
Oh, like Gazunga.
Save it for the interview.
It's not right. It's not right. Heidi, oh, you look. You know, she's just a really cool person.
Twitter's next.
With great taste. And if you ever watched the beginning of Project Runway, it was just fascinating to see.
I'm more
Did you like
on
the beginning of it, Sam?
The box.
Oh, when she and Tim Gunn were just like not
Loved
figuring it out.
By the way, we
so
we
excited.
sort of at 10:30 kept the Twitter conversation in the right realm, knowing that who our audience is and stuff like that. And we don't want to get too into the weeds about
That's
Twitter.
a great question. Who of you watching right now on YouTube also go to Twitter? I would love to find out the temperature check on you guys. A lot of people in the 10:30 early show say they don't go on Twitter at all. So I'd love to get a take on what you guys in the YouTube chat room.
Yeah, if I remember
that's like
that,
a major
I'll write
thing
it
you
down.
do or not do.
I got a lot about the
Heidi is
fake-
the cute. Isn't she the Anne Hathaway sat across from her at dinner once and said it felt like she was looking at a goddess. Do you think that's how people think about me? Great.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Mm-hmm. Just say yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
It's definitely not. Oh boy. Project Runway is amazing, wasn't it? And she's just, Tyra tried it, other people tried it, but Heidi really
That's a good question.
kicked it into high gear with supermodel/host. I don't think it's easy. I couldn't be both. I try.
Is this what you do like when you're at home? You just talk to objects in the room?
She goes like this, remember?
Welcome back. Have you guys heard the world's richest man just successfully took over Twitter? Elon Musk and the board of Twitter agreed to a, are you ready? $44 billion deal yesterday, which means Elon is taking the company private. Elon tweeted yesterday that he wants his worst critics to remain on Twitter. He also tweeted that he wants to make Twitter better than ever. Now, some people are already leaving the site in protest. There are also reports that some Twitter employees are worried about what this could mean for them, while others are cautiously optimistic. How are we feeling, Jeff?
I'm for it. I know a lot of people do not like this, but specifically for verification purposes, I love this, right?
Because what did Elon say he's going to do?
He's going to get rid of all the bots. And people have no idea what bots are doing to our country. They go back to Eastern Europe. I'm not just making this up. There's millions and millions of bots. In 2017, just think of this alone, 48 million bots. That was 5 years ago, okay? That's 9 to 15% of people online. That was 5 years ago. So imagine what it is now. Norton Antivirus, since January 2020, 200 million tweets telling the country to open back up.
Which are fake accounts.
We're bots.
Right. Tell
We're bots.
viewers
yes.
a bot equals a fake account.
It's a fake account. It's not a real person. You could actually, when I was searching bots online, it tells you how to make a bot. So that's where we're at. The top 500 retweets from what I just said, dividing our country, were bots.
Wow.
41 to 82% were bots. People are interjecting these bots into our country, into our conversations with racism, anti-this, anti-that, masks, and they're the ones causing the problem. There's a whole Reddit thread of bots fighting bots that's not even real people. And people jump into the conversation not knowing what they're getting into. So I think a lot of people view America as social media, right? It's racist, it's this, it's that, which might be true to a certain extent, but not what we think. And if Elon could erase some of those bots and just get people responsible for what they're actually saying, I think it's going to help tremendously in that aspect alone.
That's interesting. No, it is interesting. I had never even heard those stats before. When I'm thinking about it, some of the things that come to mind do have to do with the idea of racism. There's a lot of people that are questioning Elon's past, and if this is going to bring us to a path of opening the door to further white supremacy. There's also people who are criticizing him for asking what would it cost to cure world hunger, and the answer was $6 billion, and the steps were put in front of him, and he put $44 billion into Twitter. So there are some questions here. You know, do we want one of the richest men or the richest man to own or have their say, when also we know that he's also been accused of utilizing Twitter in order to manipulate stock prices? That's a lot of power. So I do have a lot of skepticism about it. I'm not a big Twitter person, but I have skepticism about it.
Are you worried about it, Tori?
Yeah, I'm worried for very similar reasons. One, I don't think anyone on this earth should have that much power over that much power. Twitter is enormously effective in communication. He already is the richest man in the world. To now own this, we're in a Bond villain like the cat thing again. I don't like that at all, and I don't think the founders of this country like that at all. But second, his free speech fanaticism, I agree with you. I like the verification, actually. You two have both changed my mind on that. I like the bot ending. The free speech fanaticism in which he is going to replace any kind of hate speech and let it be a free-for-all is something I will willingly leave.
Or disinformation.
Or disinformation.
Wouldn't you like to know who's saying it, though, and have them be responsible for their own words?
I agree with you on the bots. But if I go on there and a Nazi is allowed to tell me I'm going to die because I'm a Jew, and he believes that is free speech and should be protected, I'm out. I'm out.
Well, if they tell me to kill my children, I want to know who said that.
That's fair.
Okay?
That's
fair enough.
Yeah.
And I just want to say CNBC put out a stat to your $6 billion to end world hunger. The $42 billion deal, he could pay $1 million to every single citizen in the world for that much money. That's insanity. That would solve everything. God. Coming up on DBL, you guys, we got her, Heidi Cliff. Yep, joining us live. There she is. We cannot wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So Let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Tell me where or when. I know it's gonna last forever. Woo, I'm feeling it. You know our next guest best for her beauty, her grace, and even a little lace. She's on all your favorite shows, from America's Got Talent to Making the Cut. Also, can I add Queen of Halloween? Please welcome Heidi Cliff. Yeah. Heidi, okay, we loved seeing you rock out to your song. We're going to get to that. I first just have to address the elephant in the room, that painting behind you. What is this?
Oh, Marilyn?
No, the one of you, the caricature of you.
I mean, he sent this to me. It is so amazing. It has my husband, our dog. You know, we have a gigantic wolfhound.
Anton.
Look how good they did it. I love it so much.
That is so cool. Heidi, you are the coolest. Okay, so now let's talk about the fact that, and we might be having a tiny bit of technical difficulties, but I think we're okay. Let's talk about the long list of accomplishments that you have. I mean, I don't think I have a piece of paper or a scroll long enough, but now we can add rapping with Snoop Dogg to it. How did that all come about?
So I am currently in my 17th season of doing Germany's Next Top Model. Basically, it's Tyra's show. You know, here she did America's Next Top Model. I do the German version of that. And the network asked me if I would do the theme song for that show and for that season. And I said, yes, I would love to, but maybe I do it with someone that knows how to sing. And one of my most favorite artists, and that is Snoop Dogg. So I just literally called him up and I asked him if he would do this with me. And so my husband wrote the song, and then Snoop rapped over it. And then I was thinking, well, what should I sing? And then, you know, I don't know, I'm always kind of singing in the shower, I'm singing in the car. And so I was like, you know, I really love, you know, Baby Jane by Rod Stewart, and maybe I do, you know, that hook. And my husband is like, okay, let's try it. So then, you know, I sang it, and then he shoved it in there, and that's how it all came about.
Amazing. It's a jam. It's a jam.
Heidi, I got a quick question. Speaking of trying things, if you're on set with Snoop Dogg, I mean, you're going to try something, right? I don't know if you partook, but I'm not even big on that. I definitely would have a, you know, smoke with Snoop Dogg.
Well, I mean, Snoop's smoke definitely has a zip code on its own, you know, when he comes in. It's gigantic. So I don't know if you have a choice, you know. I was really having the munchies that day, and maybe that explains it.
Contact high for sure.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. All right, America's Got Talent has been on forever. I'm a huge fan, and now you're casting for season 17. So for people out there, if you were going to try out Heidi yourself, what would you do to guarantee a spot on that show?
I mean, they are so creative. It's crazy. You know, we have everyone from musician to magicians to comedians to ventriloquists, aerialists, dancers, you name it. Some, I don't even know what it is, what they're doing. They come onto the stage, and we had an apple the other day, and like a weird worm came out, and he was like worming around on the floor. We were like, what is happening? to me, the castings are always the most fun. We even did goat yoga the other day, or I had to do an eating competition. Thankfully, they were buzzing because I was already down 5 deviled eggs, and then the next day was sushi. I was like, please push the buzzer so it's over. So I love all of it. I mean, what we love most is being surprised. I guess the same way how people are at home loving that too, when you just don't know who shows up next and you see something that is completely different. And I feel like this year people kind of took a little bit of magic, they took a little bit of comedy, a little bit of Ariel, they mushed it all up and spat out new acts. So we've seen the most wildest things this year, and it's been a lot of fun. Now, I pushed my buzzer for someone who I didn't really want to push for this year, because I kind of, it's a variety show, so I always also think of a producer, because I want to always push people forward, who then America can vote on. And it should always be the same category, but then you can't help it. When your person is in front of you and they're doing their bit and you feel in your gut, this is my golden buzzer, you just got to go for it. And so I did. And I love golden buzzer, but I wasn't going to go for this category. But it's an emotional roller coaster ride, that show. It's just so amazing because you hear people's stories and then they do their act and you sit there and you're like, wow, I love them, and so I had to push.
Well, Heidi, let's talk about your show, Making the Cut, because it got picked up.
I don't hear you.
Oh, we're not here?
Can you hear us, Heidi? All right, we're experiencing some technical difficulties.
I have no sound.
Yeah, we can write
Where's my sound
our questions on a cue card. I'm going to find out if we can get Heidi back. They're going to work on it. In the meantime, the fact that she is a good singer, does she not get any better? She has that high, gorgeous, perfect voice, and she just doesn't age.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes life isn't fair. Is what we really need to come down. We need to come to terms with that.
Okay, let's get to her.
Erica, get it.
All right, Heidi, let's get to your show. Yes, girl. Welcome back. So your show, Making the Cut, got picked up for season 3. Congratulations.
Yippee.
Yes, but I want to know, how does Tim Gunn rank up against Howie and Simon in terms of the criticism as a judge?
I mean, it's very different. Tim Gunn has been my TV husband for over 17 years. It's the longest relationship I've ever been in. And he's not really a judge. He's more of a mentor. He also is kind of like, oh, good God heavens, I could never put myself to actually, because he doesn't even want to be in that position. I think it's also very hard for people to be brutally honest and kind of say what they think. And, we never do this to be mean to anyone, but to kind of just push them always a little bit further, to light a little fire under their booty, to make them work harder and possibly get $1 million, I mean, who else gives you $1 million? I mean, apart from America's Got Talent, I don't know any other show that gives such a gigantic price. Also, with having a line on Amazon fashion afterwards, people can go immediately and buy the winning look every week, which is so fun. And
you make dreams come true, Heidi. You really do. We wish we could have you on longer. Hopefully next time. DBL Nation Chai Tea with Heidi is out now. Make sure to tune in to the new seasons of America's Got Talent and Making the Cut. We'll be right back. Thanks, Heidi.
Thanks, Heidi. Dankeschön.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
A recent headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources: the actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary wildly from individual realities, The results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us, quote, "It is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week." And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
COVID-19 had a sizable impact on the fight against STD. Let's connect the dots. CDC data shows reported cases dropped during the early months of the pandemic before then surging at the end of 2020. Reported cases of gonorrhea and syphilis were up 10 and 7% from 2019. But reported cases of chlamydia, the most common STD in America, went down 13% from 2019. Researchers say several factors contributed to the initial decline, including less frequent in-person healthcare services. That resulted in fewer STD screenings nationwide, shortages of STD tests and laboratory supplies, as well as lapses in health insurance coverage are also factors for the drop in reported cases. The CDC calling for more health providers to prioritize STD prevention and make sure every person has access to health care free from stigma and discrimination. That is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back. Okay, so we did a YouTube poll asking our viewers if they felt it was right to release the footage in regard to Helena Hutchins.
Oh, interesting.
Looks like 80% of you said no, so we're all in agreement there. It just doesn't sit right. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our mobile app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here's what's ahead. Johnny Depp's final day on the stand. Why Johnny's claiming he is the victim in his relationship with Amber Heard. And body cam video shows the Russ set armorer moments after the shooting. Find out what she said following the incident.
Texted us asking about the costs of regular gas versus ethanol. So let's verify. Does using an ethanol blend of gas rather than regular unleaded gas save you money? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy, the U.S. Department of Energy, and AAA. So the U.S. Department of Energy says ethanol is a renewable, domestically produced fuel for vehicles, and there are different blends. Most of the time, you'll see E15 or E85 at gas stations. The numbers, by the way, note the percentage of ethanol in the fuel. You'll also probably see E15 and E85 are often cheaper than regular unleaded gas. Now, before you fuel up, know that not every car can handle this blend. Your car's manual should show you whether it can. So let's calculate. Right now, the average E85 price is around $3.50. Regular gas is around $4.12. But the Department of Energy says the E85 blend will give you 27% fewer miles per gallon than regular gas. DeHaan says the average driver won't see a benefit from making the switch.
Yeah, it's not going to have an impact on people that fill up with regular gasoline. It's not a pricing impact. It's the availability of a fuel where it's available.
So we can verify, no, switching from regular gas to an ethanol blend won't save you money.
is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. Okay, so if you saw the first half of our show, if you haven't, go to our YouTube because we talk in depth in regard to Alec Baldwin and his response to the police. But now we're going to get to some additional body cam footage from the Rust movie set. Also showed how the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, reacted moments after the shooting. So video shows Hannah, who's 24, being questioned by deputies. When asked if she's the film's armorer, she said, quote, "I am, or at least I was." She also called herself a, quote, bleeping failure and said she messed up her entire career. Take a listen.
Welcome to the worst day of my life. I can't believe Alec Baldwin was holding the gun. That's so.
So the sheriff's office also released video of an interview with the film's ammunition supplier who said Hannah Gutierrez Reed had asked for live ammo for a film she was working on prior to Rust. He says he refused her request because live ammo is never allowed on set. What do you make, Tori, of Hannah's reaction? God, she just looks like a kid, doesn't she? She just looks, it just shocked me. She's 24 years old and it just didn't feel like she was taking it that seriously. I mean, she's scrolling on her phone and kind of saying this is the worst day of my life. First of all, why does she have a phone if she's being held in some kind of investigation? She can text anyone at any point. It just feels a little lackadaisical is all it is. Now, her father is a famous film armorer for like Django Unchained, so she knows the drill of what should be done, but asking for live ammo is just an enormous red flag.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with talking about what the father does because my dad's a mortician and I cannot embalm a body. You know, and I grew up around, you know, in funeral homes.
But no one hired you to embalm a body.
I understand that, but I think also that's where I'm like, you know, you hear about actors whose kids become actors. That's very inconsequential. Like, this is a very consequential field, and it kind of begs the question why someone who clearly would have had so little experience just based on her age alone would have been given such an enormous responsibility, especially as the idea that it wasn't a union production. Now, I'm not absolving her of responsibility, but why wasn't that request flagged to begin with? Like, you clearly have someone who knew enough to flag that request but didn't report it until after the fact. Like, there's a lot that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think that text message, because it was a text message between the ammunition expert and her when she was requesting for live ammo, and he claims he declined it. This was for the film right before prior. Now, some films have a culture where some of the actors and some of the crew will go off set and they will do target practice with live bullets. That's illegal. They're not supposed to, but it does happen on set. My theory is that she provided live ammunition. This is just my theory. She was clearly searching for it, according to the ammunition expert. She got that live ammunition and somehow it got mixed up with the Rust ammunition. That is my theory. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
That points to liability to me, right? If I'm on set and someone says, hey, get me drugs, and I get them drugs, it's my responsibility. She brought live ammo onto the set.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And at 24 years old, if your father is in this business, which means you grew up in this business, 24 is not that young. You have to have some accountability. Again, this brings me to my point that I said earlier, that the finger's starting to point away from Alec Baldwin. There was a chain of events, unfortunate as it was, that led to this situation. And as you go further down the chain, Alec Baldwin is less and less
unless
the actor.
He hired her to cut costs. We don't know that. That's just me.
But unless he hired her to say, hey, get these guys some live ammo so we can shoot around set, then he's responsible. But if he didn't do that, she is responsible.
But remember, that gun had gone off or discharged, we think, allegedly twice on set already. If you're the producer of that.
But that's your job. That's her job.
But you're the producer. You're on top of her and saying that's a crisis. You either fire her or you fix it. You're having set members walk off. There's an issue there with safety.
Yeah. If I punch, I don't know. If I punch someone in the face that's working right here, it's our producer's fault?
No, it would be, in my opinion,
because they hired me?
No, it would be both, in my opinion.
I think a lot of people want to blame Alec Baldwin as opposed to a young woman, and I get that.
No,
but it's like,
I see what you're saying. I think both are at fault.
If we find out that text message, she went and got live ammunition, I 1,000% blame her. I'm with you there. I am. Okay, so let's talk about Johnny Depp. Wow, he had his final day on the stand yesterday. The jury listened to audio recordings of he and Amber arguing, and at one point, Johnny said, quote, he was the victim of domestic violence. Now, the court also heard a bizarre exchange between them 2 months after she filed for divorce, where he took out a knife and asked Amber to cut him. On the stand, Johnny explained why he did that. Watch.
You want my blood? Take it. Have my blood. And then she said, no. And then I said, look, if you're not going to take it, and you want it, I know you want it, that's all I've got left, take it. If she wasn't going to do it, I would have done it. Because that's psychologically, emotionally where I was. I was at the end. I was broken.
Erica, what do you make of this? Oh, you have a look on your face. Tell us.
This is why breakups and divorce are so necessary. Like, sometimes it just gets to a point where you just have to call it. And it's way before this, okay?
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, like, this whole thing is so bananas, but it's also very indicative of what a lot of people experience, the toxicity. It goes entirely too far. You trap yourself in a prism, and it turns out like that. If you ever wondered if any of y'all are romanticizing the past after a toxic relationship, just be like, oh, that was behind door number 2. I feel better about it.
My question is, isn't Johnny Depp from Pittsburgh? Where does that accent come from?
We see that a lot with certain artists, right? Madonna, we did when she went to London. They're very impressionable with accents because they're artists.
But that makes me feel like he's up there. He's very captivating, and the accent draws me in even more. And what he's talking about, as bananas as it is, I'm like, huh, you want to cut your finger off? Like, I'm in.
And there's proof that he actually, at some point, did allegedly cut. There's something wrong with his finger, and someone asked, and he might have cut his own finger off. At some point, you worry that this backfires and it becomes a movie. I mean, you do worry that the lawyer can't let him be too Johnny Depp, because then it starts to feel like acting. I mean, for real, like, you've got to play it really clear. And I know what you mean about
If I was a judge, I might be swayed just by his persona.
Right, but you could backfire that where you're like, I'm not believing you anymore.
Oh, I see.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like, this whole thing is a stage. So I'm interested in hearing Amber.
We don't know if she's going to take the stand.
We don't know yet. Yes. I hope she does to hear, but man, everyone online is just like, this is a tire fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're sticking to that tire fire.
I'm just thinking it'll catch on. It'll catch on.
Okay.
All
right. Well, supermodel Lauren Hutton is sharing her thoughts on plastic surgery. So Lauren, who's 78, appears topless on the cover of Harper's Bazaar, looking fabulous. She told the magazine, although she has had Botox and collagen, there is a fine line when it comes to cosmetic procedures, and that there are people who she finds hard to look at today because their faces don't look like the people she once knew. Lauren says she keeps her beauty routine simple because she's usually in a rush to get to bed to, quote, make love or read. Okay.
Get real. Listen, she looks terrific, but get real with this. I'm so old and I make love 5 times a day. Get out of here with that. We debunked it. We debunked it. We talked to Suzanne Summers. She goes, no, I do not do that 5 times a day.
Did she say it?
Yeah, we debunked that.
She said one week they did.
But get real. Everyone's like, oh, man, I'm so cool. I make love every day. Come on, get real. You got things to do. You want to get some rest. Enough.
Well, I think she looks fabulous, but I do think that we also have to account for genetics, because you can say that and it's like, that's cool, but everybody isn't in that boat. Now, my grandma Stella passed away at 96 years old. That woman chewed tobacco from the time she was 16 years old. True story. Every day from the time she was 16 years old. She didn't have one wrinkle.
Yeah. Erica,
it wasn't like,
don't you dare, girl. Look at you.
I'm being really serious.
I know, but you and your family are a lot different than most. Okay.
No, I'm saying, but that goes back to like genetics.
Yes,
you can't be like, oh, this all me, dog. You know, like there has to be something where it's like, hey, maybe you have great hair. I have great skin.
Yeah.
You know, you have long legs. I don't. You know, like whatever it is.
Right, she is a former supermodel, and to your point, yes, she's just saying Botox and collagen. That is expensive, and you have to get it touched up every 3, 4, 5, 6 months. A lot of people can't afford to do that type of upkeep. No, shame on her at all. Go for it. I get Botox, but the point is that that's not an easy upkeep for the average person.
Right.
What did you think about psychologically looking at someone maybe that doesn't look like the person you once knew? What did you think about that?
It's hard when like they've just overdone it, and you know you've gone 2 or 5 steps too far. Lauren Hutton looks absolutely fabulous. That's how you do it. She was also a supermodel, let's be honest. Genetics plays a part. I'm obsessed with the gap in that dang teeth.
Me too.
I can't get enough of that tooth gap.
Yeah.
Can't get enough.
And she has better cleavage than
Very
me.
nice. Now she's pushing it up, and I like that, but you have beautiful cleavage.
No, honey,
yes,
I've nursed 2 kids. There's no cleavage anymore. It's just... That's the sound of gravity. Coming up on DBL, actress Jamie King joins us live. There she is. We can't wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
This April, connect with Al, Tori, Erica, Jeff, and Sam.
What are we talking about?
Real conversations are on DBL. I love this story.
That's why you watch every show.
DBL, all new, every day.
A lot of people writing in about Johnny Depp and how awful it is. And again, you guys are right. A lot of people saying this is not a divorce trial. This is a defamation slander trial, and it gets even worse after that. And remember, it's even harder to sue someone who's a public person of defamation. So this really had to cross the line. I don't think anyone wants to hear any more of it. I don't.
Well, just the idea
just so
of like
dreadful.
This is after
so dreadful.
It's really sad because you think about Johnny Depp, the actor, and his legacy, and we're gonna remember this more than we remembered what he was actually famous for. You know, like. And, you know, Johnny Depp had, I think at one point he was talking about how he spent like $1 million on wine a year. So he like blew his fortune.
Right. And then a cannon to like...
He bought a lot of weird
cannon
things.
to put his friend's ashes in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which
Blow
is
it off.
really cool, but it costs a lot.
Yeah, and he was trying to make up that money with going into like the big Marvels and the DC, like he was trying.
And now
and then
he
he got
can't.
kicked out.
Canceled.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is like crazy. But I do think that, you know, if things aren't working out, don't just tear each other apart. Like, there really are going to be other people out there for you.
Yeah.
I swear to you.
Is there, legally, can the judge say you're both culpable? Like, I'm dismissing
No,
this
one
case?
person has to win a slander case or not. So
even if he's noticing that there's just like, they're both, like,
Yeah,
it takes 2
But
right
she
here?
don't have 50 million, I wouldn't think.
she's doing
either.
it for she's in Aquaman. She has some money, but
Not
she
50
I agree,
million.
but that's also for nominal to show how much he was hurt. He's trying to show how much.
Right, but if he wins, does she have to go bankrupt? How does that work?
Or whatever movie she makes next, all the money would go to him.
Really?
Yeah. So the thing with
No
this
worries,
is like,
Emily. I think we're just spitballing.
Yeah, we are spitballing.
Chances are you either know someone or are someone who has struggled with infertility. That's because in the U.S., 1 in 4 women have trouble getting pregnant or carrying a baby to term. And this week is National Infertility Awareness Week. And actress Jamie King is sharing her story to help others. Please welcome to the show, Jamie. Thank you.
Hi.
Jamie, you know, a lot of people suffer in silence, and I can only imagine a lot of our viewers are suffering in silence. So for you to have the courage to speak about this and destigmatize it, you are saving lives and you're getting the knowledge out there. Knowledge is power. Today, though, you are a proud mom of 2 beautiful boys, but you yourself struggled with infertility for many years. What was the hardest part of your journey?
The hardest part for me was really presented when I was around 26 years old, and I lost my first baby at that age. And I went to 9 doctors. It was the 9th doctor that finally diagnosed me correctly with endometriosis and PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I was so confounded as, first of all, you know, at that time, nobody talked about what it meant to lose a child or miscarrying or these different diseases. And, you know, so it was a very scary time for me. And then I realized that I had to do something about it, and I would do something about it. by bringing education and awareness and talking to other women about their experiences, because of the way that it isolates you and makes you feel in many ways broken, right? I think that our society tells us that we're just supposed to be these like fertile goddesses, and if there's something wrong, then it's like, you know, it impacts your life in a huge way.
So Jamie, PCOS is actually a pretty common hormonal disorder, right? So how does PCOS impact your acting career and day-to-day life?
I mean, in so many ways, and especially when I wasn't diagnosed and when I was working through the diagnosis, because there's so at that time there were very limited ways to shift or change it. And so ultimately it's like, you know, everything that you do, it's like you're in pain consistently, then you want to isolate yourself. You know, it's when you're working, like I would just when I'm acting, I just use it. Like I'll use it for the scene, however that is. It's sort of like acting as if. But that's a big part of, you know, what I call a silent disease, which is something that that's not seen on the surface that so many people have, whether it's PCOS or many other diseases. You know, if people can't see it physically, it's like it doesn't exist.
Right. And that's a lot of mental health too. I just have to say thank you for giving a voice and a name to endometriosis, PCOS. Someone even wrote right now, Cheryl said, I had 2 miscarriages. I understand everything she's talking about. Just having a conversation like this on daytime television is pretty revolutionary. So I really appreciate you activating that. I really, really do.
I'm so grateful for you guys having me on. Truly, it means so much. It really does. Because so many women have this and they're either undiagnosed or no one's talking about it, and there's such a huge void in women's healthcare.
Yes.
And especially now with everything that's happening, it's insanity.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so thankful, you know, to be on the board of Alara, because especially, you know, women of color or, you know, that don't have the money or insurance to see specialists and multiple doctors. It's crazy to me that you know, I don't know. I feel like if men were to have something like this, it'd be like, oh, good, we got it. You're hooked up, like you're fine.
You're in
everything
every
be
store,
free,
right?
Out of the vending machine.
Yeah, it'd be like Dorito flavor too. And I just have to say, our show really prioritizes that. So we appreciate you having this conversation with us. Speaking of working with that private diagnosis, you and Bruce Willis starred in last year's movie Out of Death, and that's one of his last films before he had this unexpected retirement. What memories do you have of working with Bruce? How was it? He's such a legend.
He is the legend of legends.
Right.
To me, he's like family. You know, I've known him, gosh, for almost like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And his daughters are very dear friends of mine. He's an extraordinary, I mean, not just, again, he's iconic.
Yeah.
It's Bruce. And, you know, working with him is always a dream come true. He is the most gentle soul, and you know, to be in the moment in these scenes with him was extraordinary. And, you know, I'm really, I think it's extraordinarily beautiful how they have handled it and how honest they are. They're just an amazing family.
That's good to hear. Really good to hear.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just reading the comments from our viewers. You're making a lot of people feel seen and heard, Jamie. And that right there is priceless. So we appreciate you.
That's making me cry.
Yeah, no, it's true. You're making me emotional as well. To our DBL Nation, join the Alara community. You'll learn a lot more. Visit alarahealth.com. Jamie, sincerely, thank you for your advocacy. We'll be right back. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks,
Jamie.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. How much exercise do you need to live a longer, healthy life? That's today's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Well, experts say the answer is 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week, like walking. And if your workouts are more intense, you can actually lower that amount of time. And here's a tip. Break up your workouts into 30-minute sessions throughout the week to maximize your results. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of your physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Recent headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources. The actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary wildly from individual realities, the results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us, quote, "It is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week, or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week." And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
COVID-19 had a sizable impact on the fight against STD. Let's connect the dots. CDC data shows reported cases dropped during the early months of the pandemic before then surging at the end of 2020. Reported cases of gonorrhea and syphilis were up 10 and 7% from 2019. But reported cases of chlamydia, the most common STD in America, went down 13% from 2019. Researchers say several factors contributed to the initial decline, including less frequent in-person healthcare services. That resulted in fewer STD screenings nationwide, shortages of STD tests and laboratory supplies, as well as lapses in health insurance coverage are also factors for the drop in reported cases. The CDC calling for more health providers to prioritize STD prevention and make sure every person has access to health care free from stigma and discrimination. That is Connecting the Dots.
Before we go, I wanted to share something really special with you all because you all have been such huge supporters and advocates and prayed for my brother-in-law, Eric. Well, we finally were able to celebrate his life in Manhattan Beach, where he grew up over the weekend. I want to show you some of the pictures. So Eric was a very talented surfer. And let me tell you, everybody not only respected him as a surfer, but as a person. So people from all over came out, flew out from Hawaii, from all over the U.S., a lot of his buddies, obviously, that he grew up with. And we paid, you know, there's my sister and their kids. And we honored him the way that he deserved with a paddle out. All of the surfers in the South Bay came out and paddled out. There it is. And when you paddle out, you know, you throw flowers in the middle of the circle, his ashes, they're all pounding the water. You can see their arms up. They're sharing stories. There's me and my other sister, Monica, talking about the love of just the community that surrounded Eric. I mean, really, everybody under the sun showed up. And there we are dancing to Pennywise. Now, if you know punk rock music, you know Pennywise. And there's a really iconic song called Throw Him. And the lead singer, Jim Lindberg, is a buddy of Eric's. They grew up together. So Jim actually sang, the lead singer. And if you know Pennywise, like Rob and our editor, Joel, you'll know how iconic this is. This is Jim singing Bro Him in honor of Eric. Yeah, it was a send-off fit for a king, because that's how people valued him. And I'm just so happy that my sister and Eric from above and their children got to see all that love and support. And Ari, Jackson, Mia, you have an army of supporters behind you forever. And so that was really beautiful. Yeah.
It must have been very cathartic for you,
Yeah.
family, the kids, especially to see how much he was loved, right, and move forward.
Amen. I think his kids always knew their daddy was a hero, but now they really know, whoa, all these people value. Yes, exactly. So thank you all for all the support over the past year and a half. You guys have helped become our lifelines, and I wanted to share that with you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Newly released body cam video shows the chaotic moments after the Russ set shooting.
It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds.
Did Alec Baldwin evade questions? Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Will his push for free speech make the platform better or worse? Actress Jamie King is here live to tell us about her struggles with infertility, how she's hoping to help others by sharing her journey. And model and TV host Heidi Cliff will also be here live. What's in store for season 17 of America's Got Talent?
I am going to give you something golden. Mama knows how to sing.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. How's everyone feeling today?
Good. How are you?
I feel good.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome back.
you. I'll share later in the show with our viewers. I was at Eric, my brother-in-law's celebration of life in Manhattan Beach, California. It was so very special and very fitting for the special person that he was. So stay tuned. We're going to show you all about that.
Very cool story.
I know. I shared it already with Jeff. Okay, so for the first time, you guys, we are getting to see the immediate aftermath of the fatal shooting on the Russ movie set. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office released video evidence showing deputies and paramedics responding to the scene. Now, after the cinematographer and director were shot, Helena Hutchins later died from her injuries. We also see police asking Alec Baldwin about the shooting shortly afterwards. Take a look.
Are you doing okay?
No, I'm not actually. I was the one holding the gun, yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to stay right here and do everything I need. Do you want a cigar? Hands are shaking.
Wow. So other footage released shows rehearsal scenes from the movie, including Alec drawing the gun that was used in the shooting. Here's some of what Alec told police when he was questioned.
They take the gun, they empty and all the rounds that are in there were either dummy rounds, no flash, cold rounds, or rounds with a flash. In the rehearsal, there should have been nothing. It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds, cosmetic rounds, no flash. I take the gun out slowly, I cock the pistol, bang, it goes up, she hits the ground. She goes down. He goes down, screaming.
Wow, the Santa Fe County Sheriff told the Today Show that Alec is still, quote unquote, not off the hook, and that it's still too early to rule anything out right now. Now, Tori, what did you think first? Let's just take this beat by beat. What did you think of Alec's response to the police?
It felt a little like a movie scene he was kind of describing. I don't understand why this footage is being released. I do understand that people have asked for the Public Information Act and it's being released for that reason. But we still have fingerprint analysis. We still have ballistic analysis. We have a court trial to go to. How is this not poisoning the entire jury pool by showing us this? I don't understand the advantage to this. I don't understand the advantage for Mr. Baldwin. I don't understand it against him. I just think this is way too much personal evidence that they should be keeping for people that have a say in what happens here. And it's very graphic, and we didn't show that. You can see her lying there. I don't understand why we need to see that.
That makes me angry. To Tori's point, how do you think this affects Helena's family?
Listen, this is a horrific, horrific accident. I'm going to say accident, right? And everyone wants to point the fingers and blame somebody, whether it be Alec Baldwin, because everyone knows his name, or someone else down the line. As far as Alec Baldwin, the actor, goes, watching this, I was kind of in my stance that I didn't blame Alec for it, and I'm even more so after watching this. I didn't think it was a movie scene. I thought it was very realistic. I thought it was being cooperative. He said his hands were shaking. He went through exactly what happened. I'm not an actor, right? I've done a couple things, but when I'm doing something like that, I focus on what I have to do. Here's my lines, here's my beat. If there is someone in charge called the armorer, if I was walking on this hallway and there's a job that says this hallway will not be wet, I'm not expecting it to be wet. So if I'm not worried about that, and it's a rehearsal, which there shouldn't be any rounds at all in there, I'm worried about what I have to do, not if there's something in there. I understand there was other procedures and things that happened on the set, but as an actor, I'm not thinking about that, right? So I'm again on Alec Baldwin's side, the actor, the producer who's overseeing the set, now that's where he could get in trouble.
I just think that it reminds everyone that these are real human beings. Do I think it's necessary to see all of this, especially the parts that we didn't show? No, I don't think that I needed to see it or anyone in the public really needed to see it. But it does definitely add the human element to it. You know, we talked about yesterday with Megan Thee Stallion and like having to say what happened in the moment when you are actually a person in shock. And I don't know how many people have been in shock and like high intensity situations, but it feels like you've run a marathon. Like that stays with your body for days, if not a week. So the idea of seeing someone go through the motions, even though it feels and looks very calm, I don't know if humans are really capable of doing all of that. So how accurate was anything that he was saying in the moment anyway?
That's an interesting point. I think too, Tori, like there has to be blame placed. Is Alec Baldwin, the producer, one of the people to blame, considering that we have heard details that they had cut corners as far as hiring certain individuals to have a less budget?
I'm strong on this one. I think the buck stops with the producer. He'd already cut corners, and hours before this, every single cinematographer had walked off the set because of safety protocols. Helena was the last one there. To me, that's just not something that you can forget and go into actor mode. That's a production crisis, and if you're not fixing that, then it's on you. I think he has some negligence in this, yes.
What do you think is going to happen to Alec's career after this?
I don't think anything. You don't? Yeah, no, I don't. I understand how high profile this case is, right, and how much we're following it. But again, me personally, I know you think opposite, and I know a lot of people do. I don't think this is going to affect him, right? It's terrible what happened. It's a terrible, terrible tragedy that happened. I don't know. Alec Baldwin does his own things that affects his career, but I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah, wow. Well, please let us know how you're feeling, DBL Nation. We always love to hear from you. And we do have a lot more about this coming up a little later in the show. We'll take a look at the footage released of the film's armorer. What did she say in the moments right after the shooting? Plus, will Elon Musk buying Twitter be a good thing or a bad thing for the platform? We're going to talk all about it. And she's a model, TV host, and businesswoman. Heidi Cliff, you guys, is going to be here live to talk about the newest season of America's Got Talent and more.
Closed captioning provided by...
This April, connect with Al, Tori, Erica, Jeff, and Sam.
What are we talking about?
Real conversations are on DBL. I love this story.
That's why you watch every show.
DBL, all new, every day.
Thank you. Pretend that we're not like a little bit freaking out that Heidi Klum's on the show.
I don't hate it. No, I'm not mad.
Very excited. I saw it on the show, and this is what I went, whoa! Not like anything. It's just she's a big star. I really liked her career.
What did you do?
Oh, like gazonga.
Save it for the interview.
It's not right. It's not right. Heidi, or you're she's just a really cool person.
Twitter's next.
With great taste. And if you ever watched the beginning of Project Runway, it was just fascinating to see.
I'm more
Didn't you
on
like the beginning of it, Sam?
The box.
Oh, when she and Tim Gunn were just not figuring it out.
By the way, we
so exciting.
Sort of at 10:30 kept the Twitter conversation in the right realm, knowing that who our audience is and stuff like that. And we don't want to get too into the weeds about
That's
Twitter.
the right question. Who of you watching right now on YouTube also go to Twitter? I would love to find out the temperature check on you guys. A lot of people on the 10:30 early show say they don't go on Twitter at all. So I'd love to get a take on what you guys in the YouTube chat room.
If I remember
that,
I'll write it
you
down.
do or not do.
I got a lot about the.
Heidi is the cute. Isn't she the Anne Hathaway sat across from her at dinner once and said it felt like she was looking at a goddess. Do you think that's how people think about me?
Great.
Huh? Mm-hmm. What'd you say?
Mm-hmm. Just say yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably not.
It's definitely not. Oh boy. Project Runway is amazing, wasn't it? And she's just, Tyra tried it, other people tried it, but Heidi really
that's a good question.
Kicked it into high gear with supermodel/host. I don't think it's easy. I couldn't be both. I try.
Is this what you do when you're at home? You just talk to objects in the room?
She doesn't
Welcome back. Have you guys heard the world's richest man just successfully took over Twitter? Elon Musk and the board of Twitter agreed to a, are you ready? $44 billion deal yesterday, which means Elon is taking the company private. Elon tweeted yesterday that he wants his worst critics to remain on Twitter. He also tweeted that he wants to make Twitter better than ever. Now, some people are already leaving the site in protest. There are also reports that some Twitter employees are worried about what this could mean for them, while others are cautiously optimistic. How are we feeling, Jeff?
I'm for it. I know a lot of people do not like this, but specifically for verification purposes, I love this, right?
Because what did Elon say he's going to do?
He's going to get rid of all the bots. And people have no idea what bots are doing to our country. They go back to Eastern Europe. I'm not just making this up. There's millions and millions of bots. In 2017, just think of this alone, 48 million bots. That was 5 years ago, okay? That's 9 to 15% of people online. That was 5 years ago. So imagine what it is now. Norton Antivirus, since January 2020, 200 million tweets telling the country to open back up.
Which are fake accounts.
We're bots.
Right. Tell
We're bots.
viewers
yes.
that bot equals a fake account.
It's a fake account. It's not a real person. You could actually, when I was searching bots online, it tells you how to make a bot. So that's where we're at. The top 500 retweets from what I just said, dividing our country, were bots.
Wow.
41 to 82% were bots. People are interjecting these bots into our country, into our conversations with racism, anti-this, anti-that, masks, and they're the ones causing the problem. There's a whole Reddit thread of bots fighting bots that's not even real people. And people jump into the conversation not knowing what they're getting into. So I think a lot of people view America as social media, right? It's racist, it's this, it's that, which might be true to a certain extent, but not what we think. And if Elon could erase some of those bots and just get people responsible for what they're actually saying, I think it's going to help tremendously in that aspect alone.
That's interesting. No, it is interesting. I had never even heard those stats before. When I'm thinking about it, some of the things that come to mind do have to do with the idea of racism. There's a lot of people that are questioning Elon's past, and if this is going to bring us to a path of opening the door to further white supremacy. There's also people who are criticizing him for asking what would it cost to cure world hunger, and the answer was $6 billion, and the steps were put in front of him, and he put $44 billion into Twitter. So there are some questions here. You know, do we want one of the richest men or the richest man to own or have their say, when also we know that he's also been accused of utilizing Twitter in order to manipulate stock prices? That's a lot of power. So I do have a lot of skepticism about it. I'm not a big Twitter person, but I have skepticism about it.
Are you worried about it, Tori?
Yeah, I'm worried for very similar reasons. One, I don't think anyone on this earth should have that much power over that much power. Twitter is enormously effective in communication. He already is the richest man in the world. To now own this, we're in a Bond villain like the cat thing again. I don't like that at all, and I don't think the founders of this country like that at all. But second, his free speech fanaticism, I agree with you. I like the verification, actually. You two have both changed my mind on that. I like the bot ending. The free speech fanaticism in which he is going to replace any kind of hate speech and let it be a free-for-all is something I will willingly leave.
Or disinformation.
Or disinformation.
Wouldn't you like to know who's saying it, though, and have them be responsible for their own words?
I agree with you on the bots. But if I go on there and a Nazi is allowed to tell me I'm going to die because I'm a Jew, and he believes that is free speech and should be protected, I'm out. I'm out.
Well, if they tell me to kill my children, I want to know who said that.
That's
right.
fair.
Okay?
That's
fair enough.
Yeah.
And I just want to say CNBC put out a stat to your $6 billion to end world hunger. The $42 billion deal, he could pay $1 million to every single citizen in the world for that much money. That's insanity. That would solve everything. God. Coming up on DBL, you guys, we got her, Heidi Cliff. Yep, joining us live. There she is. We cannot wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So Let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Tell me where or when, I know it's gonna last forever.
Woo, I'm feeling it. You know our next guest, best for her beauty, her grace, and even a little lace. She's on all your favorite shows, from America's Got Talent to Making the Cut. Also, can I add Queen of Halloween? Please welcome Heidi Cliff. Yeah. Heidi, okay, we loved seeing you rock out to your song. We're going to get to that. I first just have to address the elephant in the room, that painting behind you. What is this?
Oh, Marilyn?
No, the one of you, the caricature of you.
I mean, he sent this to me. It is so amazing. It has my husband, our dog. You know, we have a gigantic wolfhound.
Anton.
Look how good they did this. I got it so much.
That is so cool. Heidi, you are the coolest. Okay, so now let's talk about the fact that, and we might be having a tiny bit of technical difficulties, but I think we're okay. Let's talk about the long list of accomplishments that you have. I mean, I don't think I have a piece of paper or a scroll long enough, but now we can add rapping with Snoop Dogg to it. How did that all come about?
So I am currently in my 17th season of doing Germany's Next Top Model. Basically, it's Tyra's show. You know, here she did America's Next Top Model. I do the German version of that. And the network asked me if I would do the theme song that show and for that season, and I said yes, I would love to, but maybe I do it with someone that knows how to sing and one of my most favorite artists, and that is Snoop Dogg. So I just literally called him up and I asked him if he would do this with me. And so my husband wrote the song, and then Snoop rapped over it. And then I was thinking, well, what should I sing? And then, you know, I don't know, I'm always kind of singing in the shower, I'm singing in the car. And so I was like, you know, I really love, you know, Baby Jane by Rod Stewart, and maybe I do, you know, that hook. And my husband is like, okay, let's try it. So then, you know, I sang it, and then he shoved it in there, and that's how it all came about.
Amazing. It's a jam. It's a jam.
Heidi, I got a quick question. Speaking of trying things, if you're on set with Snoop Dogg, I mean, you're going to try something, right? I don't know if you partook, but I'm not even big on that. I definitely would have a, you know, smoke with Snoop Dogg.
Well, I mean, Snoop's smoke definitely has a zip code on its own, you know, when he comes in. It's gigantic. So I don't know if you have a choice, you know. I was really having the munchies that day, and maybe that explains it.
Contact high for sure.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. All right, America's Got Talent has been on forever. I'm a huge fan, and now you're casting for season 17. So for people out there, if you were going to try out Heidi yourself, what would you do to guarantee a spot on that show?
I mean, they are so creative, it's crazy. You know, we have everyone from musician to magicians to comedians to ventriloquists, aerialists, dancers, you name it. Some, I don't even know what it is, what they're doing. They come onto the stage, and we had an apple the other day, and like a weird worm came out, and he was like worming around on the floor. We were like, what is happening? to me, the castings are always the most fun. We even did goat yoga the other day, or I had to do an eating competition. Thankfully, they were buzzing because I was already down 5 deviled eggs, and then the next day was sushi. I was like, please push the buzzer so it's over. So I love all of it. I mean, what we love most is being surprised. I guess the same way how people are at home loving that too, when you just don't know who shows up next and you see something that is completely different. And I feel like this year people kind of took a little bit of magic, they took a little bit of comedy, a little bit of aerial, they mushed it all up and spat out new acts. So we've seen the most wildest things this year, and it's been a lot of fun. Now, I pushed my buzzer for someone who I didn't really want to push for this year, because I kind of, it's a variety show, so I always also think of a producer, because I want to always push people forward, who then America can vote on. And it should always be the same category, but then you can't help it. When your person is in front of you and they're doing their bit and you feel in your gut, this is my golden buzzer, you just got to go for it. And so I did. And I love golden buzzer, but I wasn't going to go for this category. But it's an emotional roller coaster ride, that show. It's just so amazing because you hear people's stories and then they do their act and you sit there and you're like, wow, I love them, and so I had to push.
Well, Heidi, let's talk about your show, Making the Cut, because it got picked up.
I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Oh, we're not here?
Can you hear us, Heidi? All right, we're experiencing some technical difficulties.
I have no sound.
Yeah, we can write
Where's my
our
sound
questions
gone?
on a cue card. I'm going to find out if we can get Heidi back. They're going to work on it. In the meantime, the fact that she is a good singer, does she not get any better? She has that high, gorgeous, perfect voice, and she just doesn't age.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes life isn't fair. Sam, is what we really need to come down. We need to come to terms with that.
Okay, let's get to her.
Erica, get it.
All right, Heidi, let's get to your show. Yes, girl. Welcome back. So your show, Making the Cut, got picked up for season 3. Congratulations.
Yippee.
Yes, but I want to know, how does Tim Gunn rank up against Howie and Simon in terms of the criticism as a judge?
I mean, it's very different. Tim Gunn has been my TV husband for over 17 years. It's the longest relationship I've ever been in. And he's not really a judge. He's more of a mentor. He also is kind of like, oh, good God heavens, I could never put myself to actually, because he doesn't even want to be in that position. I think it's also very hard for people to be brutally honest and kind of say what they think. And, we never do this to be mean to anyone, but to kind of just push them always a little bit further, to light a little fire under their booty, to make them work harder and possibly get $1 million, I mean, who else gives you $1 million? I mean, apart from America's Got Talent, I don't know any other show that gives such a gigantic price. Also, with having a line on Amazon fashion afterwards, people can go immediately and buy the winning look every week, which is so fun. And
you make dreams come true, Heidi. You really do. We wish we could have you on longer. Hopefully next time. DBL Nation, Chai Tea with Heidi is out now. Make sure to tune in to the new seasons of America's Got Talent and Making the Cut. We'll be right back. Thanks, Heidi.
Thanks, Heidi. Dankeschön.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
A recent headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources: the actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary wildly from individual realities, The results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us, quote, "It is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week." And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
COVID-19 had a sizable impact on the fight against STD. Let's connect the dots. CDC data shows reported cases dropped during the early months of the pandemic, before then surging at the end of 2020. Reported cases of gonorrhea and syphilis were up 10 and 7% from 2019. But reported cases of chlamydia, the most common STD in America, went down 13% from 2019. Researchers say several factors contributed to the initial decline, including less frequent in-person healthcare services that resulted in fewer STD screenings nationwide, shortages of STD tests and laboratory supplies, as well as lapses in health insurance coverage are also factors for the drop in reported cases. The CDC calling for more health providers to prioritize STD prevention and make sure every person has access to health care free from stigma and discrimination. That is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back. Okay, so we did a YouTube poll asking our viewers if they felt it was right to release the footage in regard to Helena Hutchins.
Oh, interesting.
Looks like 80% of you said no. So we're all in agreement there. It just doesn't sit right. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our mobile app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here's what's ahead. Johnny Depp's final day on the stand. Why Johnny's claiming he is the victim in his relationship with Amber Heard. And body cam video shows the Russ set armorer moments after the shooting. Find out what she said following the incident.
Texted us asking about the costs of regular gas versus ethanol. So let's verify. Does using an ethanol blend of gas rather than regular unleaded gas save you money? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy, the U.S. Department of Energy, and AAA. So the U.S. Department of Energy says ethanol is a renewable, domestically produced fuel for vehicles, and there are different blends. Most of the time, you'll see E15 or E85 at gas stations. The numbers, by the way, note the percentage of ethanol in the fuel. You'll also probably see E15 and E85 are often cheaper than regular unleaded gas. Now, before you fuel up, know that not every car can handle this blend. Your car's manual should show you whether it can. So let's calculate. Right now, the average E85 price is around $3.50. Regular gas is around $4.12. But the Department of Energy says the E85 blend will give you 27% fewer miles per gallon than regular gas. DeHaan says the average driver won't see a benefit from making the switch.
Yeah, it's not going to have an impact on people that fill up with regular gasoline. It's not a pricing impact. It's the availability of a fuel where it's available.
So we can verify, no, switching from regular gas to an ethanol blend won't save you money.
Daily Blast Live, we're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. Okay, so if you saw the first half of our show, if you haven't, go to our YouTube because we talk in depth in regard to Alec Baldwin and his response to the police. But now we're going to get to some additional body cam footage from the Russ movie set. Also showed how the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, reacted moments after the shooting. So video shows Hannah, who's 24, being questioned by deputies. When asked if she's the film's armorer, she said, quote, "I am, or at least I was." She also called herself a, quote, bleeping failure and said she messed up her entire career. Take a listen.
Welcome to the worst day of my life. I can't believe Alec Baldwin was holding the gun. That's so.
So the sheriff's office also released video of an interview with the film's ammunition supplier who said Hannah Gutierrez Reed had asked for live ammo for a film she was working on prior to Rust. He says he refused her request because live ammo is never allowed on set. What do you make, Tori, of Hannah's reaction?
God, she just looks like a kid, doesn't she? She just looks, it just shocked me. She's 24 years old and it just didn't feel like she was taking it that seriously. I mean, she's scrolling on her phone and kind of saying this is the worst day of my life. First of all, why does she have a phone if she's being held in some kind of investigation? She can text anyone at any point. It just feels a little lackadaisical is all it is. Now, her father is a famous film armorer for like Django Unchained, so she knows the drill of what should be done, but asking for live ammo is just an enormous red flag.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with talking about what the father does because my dad's a mortician and I cannot embalm a body. You know, and I grew up around, you know, in funeral homes.
But no one hired you to embalm a body.
I understand that, but I think also that's where I'm like, you know, you hear about actors whose kids become actors. That's very inconsequential. Like, this is a very consequential field, and it kind of begs the question why someone who clearly would have had so little experience just based on her age alone would have been given such an enormous responsibility, especially as the idea that it wasn't a union production. Now, I'm not absolving her of responsibility, but why wasn't that request flagged to begin with? Like, you clearly have someone who knew enough to flag that request but didn't report it until after the fact. Like, there's a lot that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think that text message, because it was a text message between the ammunition expert and her when she was requesting for live ammo, and he claims he declined it. This was for the film right before prior. Now, some films have a culture where some of the actors and some of the crew will go off set and they will do target practice with live bullets. That's illegal. They're not supposed to, but it does happen on set. My theory is that she provided live ammunition. This is just my theory. She was clearly searching for it, according to the ammunition expert. She got that live ammunition and somehow it got mixed up with the Rust ammunition. That is my theory. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
That points to liability to me, right? If I'm on set and someone says, hey, get me drugs, and I get them drugs, it's my responsibility. She brought live ammo onto the set.
Allegedly. We don't know.
Allegedly. And at 24 years old, if your father is in this business, which means you grew up in this business, 24 is not that young. You have to have some accountability. Again, this brings me to my point that I said earlier, that the finger's starting to point away from Alec Baldwin. There was a chain of events, unfortunate as it was, that led to this situation. And as you go further down the chain, Alec Baldwin is less and less
unless
the actor.
He hired her to cut costs. We don't know that. That's just me.
But unless he hired her to say, hey, get these guys some live ammo so we can shoot around set, then he's responsible. But if he didn't do that, she is responsible.
But remember, that gun had gone off or discharged, we think, allegedly twice on set already. If you're the producer of that.
But that's your job. That's her job.
But you're the producer. You're on top of her and saying that's a crisis. You either fire her or you fix it. You're having set members walk off. There's an issue there with safety.
Yeah. If I punch, I don't know.
No,
if I punch someone in the face that's working right here, it's our producer's fault?
No, it would be, in my opinion,
because they hired me?
No, it would be both, in my opinion.
I think a lot of people want to blame Alec Baldwin as opposed to a young woman, and I get that.
No,
but it's like,
I see what you're saying. I think both are at fault.
If we find out that text message, she went and got live ammunition, I 1,000% blame her. I'm with you there. I am. Okay, so let's talk about Johnny Depp. Wow, he had his final day on the stand yesterday. The jury listened to audio recordings of he and Amber arguing, and at one point, Johnny said, quote, he was the victim of domestic violence. Now, the court also heard a bizarre exchange between them 2 months after she filed for divorce, where he took out a knife and asked Amber to cut him. On the stand, Johnny explained why he did that. Watch.
You want my blood? Take it. Have my blood. And then she said, no, no. And then I said, look, if you're not going to take it, and you want it, I know you want it, that's all I've got left, take it. If she wasn't going to do it, I would have done it. Because that's psychologically, emotionally where I was. I was at the end. I was broken.
Erica, what do you make of this? Oh, you have a look on your face. Tell us.
This is why breakups and divorce are so necessary. Like, sometimes it just gets to a point where you just have to call it. And it's way before this, okay?
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, like, this whole thing is so bananas, but it's also very indicative of what a lot of people experience, the toxicity. It goes entirely too far. You trap yourself in a prism, and it turns out like that. If you ever wondered if any of y'all are romanticizing the past after a toxic relationship, just be like, oh, that was behind door number 2. I feel better about it.
My question is, isn't Johnny Depp from Pittsburgh? Where's that accent come from?
We see that a lot with certain artists, right? Madonna, we did when she went to London. They're very impressionable with accents because they're artists.
But that makes me feel like he's up there. He's very captivating, and the accent draws me in even more. And what he's talking about, as bananas as it is, I'm like, huh, you want to cut your finger off? Like, I'm in.
And there's proof that he actually at some point did allegedly cut. There's something wrong with his finger, and someone asked, and he might have cut his own finger off. At some point, you worry that this backfires and it becomes a movie. I mean, you do worry that the lawyer can't let him be too Johnny Depp, because then it starts to feel like acting. I mean, for real, like, you've got to play it really clear. And I know what you mean about
If I was a judge, I might be swayed just by his persona.
Right, but you could backfire that where you're like, I'm not believing you anymore.
Oh, I see.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like, this whole thing is a stage. So I'm interested in hearing Amber.
We don't know if she's going to take the stand.
We don't know yet. Yes. I hope she does to hear, but man, everyone online is just like, this is a tire fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 You're sticking to that tire fire.
I'm just thinking it'll catch on.
Bringing that
It'll
up.
catch on.
Okay.
All
right. Well, supermodel Lauren Hutton is sharing her thoughts on plastic surgery. So Lauren, who's 78, appears topless on the cover of Harper's Bazaar, looking fabulous. She told the magazine, although she has had Botox and collagen, there is a fine line when it comes to cosmetic procedures, and that there are people who she finds hard to look at today because their faces don't look like the people she once knew. Lauren says she keeps her beauty routine simple because she's usually in a rush to get to bed to, quote, make love or read. Okay.
Get real. Listen, she looks terrific, but get real with this. I'm so old and I make love 5 times a day. Get out of here with
Suzanne
that.
Summers
We debunked it. We debunked it. We talked to Suzanne Summers. She goes, no, I do not do that 5 times a day.
Did she say it?
Yeah, we debunked that.
She said one week they did.
But get real. Everyone's like, oh, man, I'm so cool. I make love every day. Come on, get real. You got things to do. You want to get some rest. Enough.
Well, I think she looks fabulous, but I do think that we also have to account for genetics, because you can say that and it's like, that's cool, but everybody isn't in that boat. Now, my grandma Stella passed away at 96 years old. That woman chewed tobacco from the time she was 16 years old. True story. Every day from the time she was 16 years old. She didn't have one wrinkle.
Yeah. Well, Erica,
it wasn't like,
don't you dare, girl. Look at
I'm being really serious.
I know, but you and your family are a lot different than most. Okay.
No, I'm saying, but that goes back to like genetics.
Yes.
You can't be like, oh, this all me, dog. You know, like there has to be something where it's like, hey, maybe you have great hair. I have great skin.
Yeah.
You know, you have long legs. I don't. You know, like whatever it is.
Right, she's a former supermodel, and to your point, it's yes. She's just saying Botox and collagen. That is expensive, and you have to get it touched up every 3, 4, 5, 6 months. A lot of people can't afford to do that type of upkeep. No, shame on her at all. Go for it. I get Botox, but the point is that that's not an easy upkeep for the average person.
Right.
What did you think about psychologically looking at someone maybe that doesn't look like the person you once knew? What do you think about that?
It's hard when like they've just overdone it, and you know you've gone 2 or 5 steps too far. Lauren Hutton looks absolutely fabulous. That's how you do it. She was also a supermodel, let's be honest. Genetics plays a part. I'm obsessed with the gap in that dang teeth.
Me too.
I can't get enough of that tooth gap.
Yeah.
Can't get enough.
And she has better cleavage than
Very
me.
nice. Now she's pushing it up, and I like that, but you have beautiful cleavage.
No, honey,
yes,
I've nursed 2 kids. There's no cleavage anymore. It's just... That's the sound of gravity. Coming up on DBL, actress Jamie King joins us live. There she is. We can't wait to talk with her. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
This April, connect with Al, Tori, Erica, Jeff, and Sam.
What are we talking about?
Real conversations are on DBL. I love this story.
That's why you watch every show.
DBL, all new every day.
A lot of people writing in about Johnny Depp and how awful it is. And again, you guys are right. A lot of people saying this is not a divorce trial. This is a defamation slander trial, and it gets even worse after that. And remember, it's even harder to sue someone who's a public person of defamation. So this really had to cross the line. I don't think anyone wants to hear any more of it. I don't.
Well, just the
it's
idea
just so
of like
dreadful.
this is after
so dreadful.
It's really sad because you think about Johnny Depp, the actor, and his legacy, and we're gonna remember this more than we remembered what he was actually famous for. You know, like. And, you know, Johnny Depp had, I think at one point he was talking about how he spent like $1 million on wine a year. So he like blew his fortune.
Right. And then a cannon to like...
He bought a lot of weird
cannon
things.
to put his friend's ashes in,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Which
blow
is
it off.
really cool, but it cost a lot.
Yeah, and he was trying to make up that money with going into like the big Marvels and the DC, like he was trying.
And now
and then
he
he got
can't.
kicked
Got
out.
canceled.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is like crazy. But I do think that, you know, if things aren't working out, don't just tear each other apart. Like, there really are going to be other people out there for you.
Yeah.
I swear to you.
Is there legally, can the judge say this is, you're both culpable? Like, I'm dismissing
No,
this
one
case?
person has to win a slander case or not. So
Even if he's noticing that there's just like, they're both, like
Yeah,
it takes 2
But
right
she
here?
don't have 50 million, I wouldn't think.
she's doing
either.
it for she's in Aquaman. She has some money, but
Not
she doesn't
50
I agree,
million.
but that's also for nominal to show how much he was hurt. He's trying to show how much.
Right, but if he wins, does she have to go bankrupt? How does that work?
Or whatever movie she makes next, all the money would go to him.
Really?
Yeah. So the thing with
No
this
worries,
is like,
Emily. I think we're just spitballing.
Yeah, we are spitballing.
Chances are you either know someone or are someone who has struggled with infertility. That's because in the U.S., 1 in 4 women have trouble getting pregnant or carrying a baby to term. And this week is National Infertility Awareness Week. And actress Jamie King is sharing her story to help others. Please welcome to the show, Jamie. Thank you.
Hi.
Jamie, you know, a lot of people suffer in silence, and I can only imagine a lot of our viewers are suffering in silence. So for you to have the courage to speak about this and destigmatize it, you are saving lives and you're getting the knowledge out there. Knowledge is power. Today, though, you are a proud mom of 2 beautiful boys, but you yourself struggled with infertility for many years. What was the hardest part of your journey?
The hardest part for me was really presented when I was around 26 years old, and I lost my first baby at that age. And I went to 9 doctors. It was the 9th doctor that finally diagnosed me correctly with endometriosis and PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I was so confounded as, first of all, you know, at that time, nobody talked about what it meant to lose a child or miscarrying or these different diseases. And, you know, so it was a very scary time for me. And then I realized that I had to do something about it, and I would do something about it. by bringing education and awareness and talking to other women about their experiences, because of the way that it isolates you and makes you feel in many ways broken, right? I think that our society tells us that we're just supposed to be these like fertile goddesses, and if there's something wrong, then it's like, you know, it impacts your life in a huge way.
So Jamie, PCOS is actually a pretty common hormonal disorder, right? So how does PCOS impact your acting career and day-to-day life?
I mean, in so many ways, and especially when I wasn't diagnosed and when I was working through the diagnosis, because there's so at that time there were very limited ways to shift or change it. And so ultimately it's like, you know, everything that you do, it's like you're in pain consistently, then you want to isolate yourself. You know, it's when you're working, like I would just when I'm acting, I just use it. Like I'll use it for the scene, however that is. It's sort of like acting as if. But that's a big part of, you know, what I call a silent disease, which is something that that's not seen on the surface, that so many people have, whether it's PCOS or many other diseases. You know, if people can't see it physically, it's like it doesn't exist.
Right. And that's a lot of mental health too. I just have to say thank you for giving a voice and a name to endometriosis, PCOS. Someone even wrote right now, Cheryl said, I had 2 miscarriages. I understand everything she's talking about. Just having a conversation like this on daytime television is pretty revolutionary. So I really appreciate you activating that. I really, really do.
I'm so grateful for you guys having me on. Truly, it means so much. It really does. Because so many women have this, and they're either undiagnosed or no one's talking about it, and there's such a huge void in women's healthcare.
Yes.
And especially now with everything that's happening, it's insanity.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so thankful, you know, to be on the board of Alara, because especially, you know, women of color, or, you know, that don't have the money or insurance to see specialists and multiple doctors. It's crazy to me that you know, I don't know. I feel like if men were to have something like this, it'd be like, oh, good, we got it. You're hooked up, like you're fine.
You're in
everything
every
be
store,
free,
right?
Out of the vending machine.
Yeah, it'd be like Dorito flavor too. And I just have to say, our show really prioritizes that. So we appreciate you having this conversation with us. Speaking of working with that private diagnosis, you and Bruce Willis starred in last year's movie Out of Death, and that's one of his last films before he had this unexpected retirement. What memories do you have of working with Bruce? How was it? He's such a legend.
He is the legend of legends.
Right.
To me, he's like family. You know, I've known him, gosh, for almost like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And his daughters are very dear friends of mine. He's an extraordinary, I mean, not just, again, he's iconic.
Yeah.
It's Bruce. And, you know, working with him is always a dream come true. He is the most gentle soul, and you know, to be in the moment in these scenes with him was extraordinary. And, you know, I'm really, I think it's extraordinarily beautiful how they have handled it and how honest they are. They're just an amazing family.
That's good to hear. Really good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the comments from our viewers. You're making a lot of people feel seen and heard, Jamie, and that right there is priceless. So we appreciate you.
That's making me cry.
Yeah, no, it's true. You're making me emotional as well. To our DBL Nation, join the Alara community. You'll learn a lot more. Visit alarahealth.com. Jamie, sincerely, thank you for your advocacy. We'll be right back. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Thanks,
you.
Jamie.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. How much exercise do you need to live a longer, healthy life? That's today's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Well, experts say the answer is 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week, like walking. And if your workouts are more intense, you can actually lower that amount of time. And here's a tip. Break up your workouts into 30-minute sessions throughout the week to maximize your results. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of your physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources. The actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary wildly from individual realities, the results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us, quote, "It is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week, or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week." And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
COVID-19 had a sizable impact on the fight against STD. Let's connect the dots. CDC data shows reported cases dropped during the early months of the pandemic, before then surging at the end of 2020. Reported cases of gonorrhea and syphilis were up 10 and 7% from 2019. But reported cases of chlamydia, the most common STD in America, went down 13% from 2019. Researchers say several factors contributed to the initial decline, including less frequent in-person healthcare services. That resulted in fewer STD screenings nationwide, shortages of STD tests and laboratory supplies, as well as lapses in health insurance coverage are also factors for the drop in reported cases. The CDC calling for more health providers to prioritize STD prevention and make sure every person has access to health care free from stigma and discrimination. That is Connecting the Dots.
Before we go, I wanted to share something really special with you all because you all have been such huge supporters and advocates and prayed for my brother-in-law, Eric. Well, we finally were able to celebrate his life in Manhattan Beach, where he grew up over the weekend. I want to show you some of the pictures. So Eric was a very talented surfer. And let me tell you, everybody not only respected him as a surfer, but as a person. So people from all over came out, flew out from Hawaii, from all over the U.S., a lot of his buddies, obviously, that he grew up with. And we paid, you know, there's my sister and their kids. And we honored him the way that he deserved with a paddle out. All of the surfers in the South Bay came out and paddled out. There it is. And when you paddle out, you know, you throw flowers in the middle of the circle, his ashes, they're all pounding the water. You can see their arms up. They're sharing stories. There's me and my other sister, Monica, talking about the love of just the community that surrounded Eric. I mean, really, everybody under the sun showed up. And there we are dancing to Pennywise. Now, if you know punk rock music, you know Pennywise. And there's a really iconic song called Throw Him. And the lead singer, Jim Lindbergh, is a buddy of Eric's. They grew up together. So Jim actually sang, the lead singer. And if you know Pennywise, like Rob and our editor, Joel, you'll know how iconic this is. This is Jim singing Bro Him in honor of Eric.
The fun was never ending. Back from here was always the beginning. That Kevin down march once for you. Here we go.
Yeah, it was a send-off fit for a king, because that's how people valued him. And I'm just so happy that my sister and Eric from above and their children got to see all that love and support. And Ari, Jackson, Mia, you have an army of supporters behind you forever. And so that was really beautiful. Yeah.
It must have been very cathartic for your family, the kids, especially, to see how much he was loved, right, and move forward.
Amen. I think his kids always knew their daddy was a hero, but now they really know, whoa, all these people value. Yes, exactly. So thank you all for all the support over the past year and a half. You guys have helped become our lifelines, and I wanted to share that with you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe.
The fun was never ending. Back from here was always the beginning. That Kevin down march once for you. Here we go.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.